Welcome back to 1010 Podcast with Michael and Adam and Robbie. Robbie, I got to put you on blast.
For what?
You did a 2.5 hour long podcast.
And nobody complained about
And
it.
nobody complained about it at all.
why
You
would-
missed like 15, 20, 37 movies. How could you have missed so many movies?
Because they're not good. Actually, I know there's a couple on there that I'm sure are good that I just haven't seen.
American Graffiti.
That was on the list. It just got skipped.
Yeah, that got skipped. We moved on.
Yeah, I love that movie. I totally forgot about it till Jabay anger messaged me.
It's been
sorry,
many
man. I'm
years.
so sorry.
But yeah, that should have been on the list.
I'm surprised you like it because of its ties to Star Wars.
It's been so long that I couldn't.
It was directed by George Lucas and its lead character is Harrison Ford.
Oh, that's fine.
So
Yeah, but isn't this pre-Star Wars?
yes, it is.
So that would be...
Yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars is linked to it,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the other way around.
That's fair. I'll
Let's not
give you
get it
that.
twisted.
That's a very valid point.
Let's not ruin the first thing with the second thing.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I suppose you've got a good point.
Just because you like Star Trek doesn't mean you have to drag the rest of us into it.
That's American Graffiti is quintessential car guy movie. I was bummed out about that one.
Yeah, it's your fault for forgetting it then.
It was on the list. Everybody
I'll
saw
agree
the
with
list.
that.
That's true. Yeah.
Cars was on there twice. It was so important.
It was
important.
Robbie was super pumped about
I
Cars.
wanted to make sure everybody saw it.
So
So it brought up an interesting question, though. When is a movie a car movie, and when is it a movie with cars in it?
that's how I feel about Blues Brothers.
I really don't think that's a car movie.
Blues Brothers is
personally.
not a
I
car
don't
guys.
count it.
If it's anything, it's a movie about music. Maybe there's a chase scene in it. It's quite an epic chase scene. Chase scenes don't necessarily equate to car guy things.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with Blues Brothers, too.
That's why I don't think Bullet is a car guy movie.
No. It's got a cool car.
But it could be any car and it wouldn't change that movie. And for a majority of that movie, it is just his mode of transportation to get from A to B.
Right.
It's not the focus of the movie.
I agree.
So I don't think it's necessarily a car. It's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not. It doesn't take away from the movie. I still think it's a bad movie,
It's still a terrible movie.
but it's not a car guy movie either. It's just a movie.
It's not a movie.
with a cool car.
It's not a movie about cars. It's a movie with cars.
Chase scenes are action. They don't necessarily. I mean, chase scenes can happen on the water. They can happen in the air. They don't necessarily have to be with cars. You can do chase scenes on foot.
On skis.
Yeah.
You know,
James Bond does it all the time.
Yeah.
you know one that nobody brought up was Transformers. That whole series.
Not a car guy movie.
It's not a car. It's not a car movie.
It's
not even a movie about cars.
Those are robots in disguise. It's hugely different.
The first one's got a great car scenes, but yeah, it's not a car guy movie.
I haven't seen any of the other ones but the first one. So I don't know if
I
it
wouldn't
gets
even-
better or worse.
No, it's worse.
It's all terrible.
Because I was really excited about the one with dinosaurs. I'm like, God, I couldn't even make it
There's
through
one
it.
with dinosaurs?
Yeah,
the most recent one, isn't it?
What?
one of the most recent
How many
ones.
are there?
There's supposed to be 6 of them.
6?
It's kind of like Fast and the Furious. They just keep rolling them out.
People keep
they did the-
buying.
They
this
killed Optimus
shit?
Prime 4 movies ago, and he's still. It's
He
still.
comes back. I think.
Yeah, no, he's
It's
one
fine.
of those deals.
Is Megan Fox in it still?
No,
she
gosh,
did
no.
She did the first 2, and then there was another one with Shia LaBeouf and Rosie Huntington-Whiteley.
Yeah, she's
hot.
she's not slacking, frankly. But
It's Jason Statham's wife, or fiance, or whatever.
oh, really?
Yeah.
That a boy.
And then they went to Marky Mark for the other next.
Marky Mark's in him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell happened
Yeah.
to this
The
year?
Shia LaBeouf is gone, and then it's Marky Mark.
Because Shia LaBeouf had a meltdown or something?
Yeah, he said, "Do
Just
it,
do
And
it.
then he
Busy-
left.
Do it.
He's too busy doing motivational movies
And
on
artsy
YouTube.
shit. Yeah.
Making great gifts.
Great gifts, great motivational YouTube videos.
So yeah.
That's insanity. I didn't realize that whole series had digressed
That's
that far.
kind of what we do now, though, as a culture.
Just play a movie out until
You
or
keep
an
doing it until
idea.
it stops making money.
But that's a problem. If you let Michael Bay direct a movie and you pump $80 million into it, and then he turns around and makes $150 million because everybody's kid wants to go see the Transformers movie, then they just keep making them until they're absolutely insane.
Never seen a Michael Bay movie I didn't like.
Did you see Pain and Gain?
I don't even know if that's a true statement.
You need to watch more.
It was mostly a sarcastic
Is Pain and
statement.
Gain a Michael Bay
I
movie
thought it was.
with The Rock and
Yeah.
Marky Mark?
What? I
Yeah,
don't
they're
even know this
bodybuilders and
movie.
they start selling drugs, don't they, or
Is
something
that
weird?
how
like that?
old is this?
2013.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's that new?
Yeah, it's Michael Bay. I thought so,
Really?
'cause it's not really an action movie.
It's like a low budget movie, kind of.
No, it's not low budget.
It's not. It's not
low
Michael
budget
Bay.
for The Rock.
Yeah,
and
for
Michael
Marky
Bay,
Mark
it is
and
a-
Michael
It's
Bay.
26 million.
Yeah, he spends a lot more than that on most movies.
Yeah, most Transformers movies have more than that. Just the explosion sequences.
Yeah, you should totally watch that.
It's
about
pretty funny.
Painted game.
bodybuilders.
It's pretty funny.
Is it a good movie?
It's pretty
It's-
good.
Oh,
kinda
okay.
pretty
See, I
good,
thought you were saying that like that was the rebuttal to
No,
my.
but you might not like it because it's all
Oh.
about like bros.
I was being sarcastic about that. I don't even know if I have or haven't seen a movie that I like that or don't like that's Michael Bay. But I just thought it was funny to.
Anyway, I think
I
that's
do
it.
like, explosions. All rise, no fall. I'm all about it.
It's. But see, you say that, but that's why we keep beating things to
But
death.
I
and they
watch
keep
those-
making Transformers movies.
I watch those movies when they come out on Netflix. I sure as hell don't buy them, and I sure
Yeah.
as hell don't go see them in movie theaters. They aren't making any money off of me watching them. Or, well, I assume I don't know how the Netflix system
They make
works
like
when
2
you're on
cents
the
off of
back
you.
end. Yeah, they're not making a killing on me.
No, very true. Anyway, Robbie, just disappointed in you that you didn't turn this into like a 4-hour podcast, full Joe
gotta
Rogan
try
marathon.
harder.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
My goal is 37 minutes.
37 minutes.
37 minutes, like in and out.
That
Moving on.
That would really piss some people off.
Go the other direction. Yeah, everyone wants a longer one. I'll just go short.
We want 2-3 hour shows a week.
No.
If everybody wants, if we'll start a Patreon, and if everybody that
Yeah,
listens throws in
exactly.
$200, we'll all quit our jobs,
Yeah,
and we will
there
give
you go.
at a minimum, we will give you 2-3 hour podcasts a week. That's my guarantee.
Yeah, if I quit my job, we could do this Jason Ellis style.
We do it every day.
We could
Like
do
a
it every
radio
day.
show.
Yeah,
Do
why not?
3-5
Do a live broadcast when
you know,
people are driving home.
Yeah,
5 to 8.
5 days a week.
Then they could
Do a
yeah,
replay.
we could replay it in the afternoon.
Yeah,
just saying.
perfect. Why not? Why not? That's all you got to do. Just we'll open the page. You guys make your pledge. As soon as we hit our goal, boom, done. Quit our jobs.
I almost opened our Patreon page last week. I suppose this would be a good place for us to throw that in there, but I don't have it yet. Maybe I'll have it by the time this comes out.
There you go.
I just don't know how to make the tiers. That's where I'm at on it.
I don't know.
No,
I think that's it, Robbie. I've blasted you enough. I'll get you later in the show, though. I'm sure of it.
nah, I doubt it.
Do you want to do the opener next, or do you want to open this bottle of Canadian water?
Should we drink the only fancy water thing I actually enjoy in my life?
Adam, do you want to explain what this is?
So it's called Clearly Canadian. I don't think it probably has anything to do with Canada. It's
Is it made in Canada?
I don't know.
Wait,
I
hold
don't
on.
care.
It is a very clear bottle. It
So-
says Richmond Hill, Ontario on the back.
When I was a very small child and I went to go and visit my grandparents who lived states away from me, this was what my grandma would buy at the local grocery store, and it just disappeared off the face of the earth for the longest time, and now recently Hy-Vee's started carrying it again, and it's not especially cheap,
You can get it on Amazon.
but it's so good. It's probably not as good as I think it is because it's romanticized by
Probably.
Yeah,
by-
it's
but I
burned
love
into your
it.
brain as being
I love-
good.
Excuse me, I think it's great. So.
It comes in this little tiny clear bottle. It's 11 ounces.
So you can get them in like bigger, like wine style bottles.
It says wild cherry on the front.
Yeah, this is wild
Which is
cherry.
not one of my
flavored.
favorite flavors. That artificial cherry is not really my thing.
Nope.
Ooh, it smells
Here you go,
very
Abby,
cherry.
Grab one of those for me.
It's got some cane sugar in it,
Oh, that's good.
so
for
it's
you, right?
yep. It's
natural.
yeah, because that's good
Whoa.
for you.
It's gonna fizz all
This is
over.
probably more sugar than Michael takes in a week.
Yeah, I'll say it's probably
Actually,
got
this
Mountain
is-
Dew content worth
Yeah.
of sugar.
Well, that whole bottle is 90 calories for that little tiny bottle, 11 ounces.
yeah, so it's about.
But I love it. So it's carbonated.
Nope.
It's very fizzy. It's
Nope.
it's poppy almost.
That's a whole bunch of no for me, dog.
Nope. That.
Wow, it's weird.
I love it.
What did that
I don't
cost?
know why.
What did that cost you?
It's like $2.50 a bottle.
You know, if you go to Hy-Vee, they have
That's where you get this.
They have sparkling water for 77 cents for like a liter.
For some reason, it
And that's
just
so much better.
I don't like it. This is probably, like I said, this is romanticized in my head by being a childhood memory.
Yeah, this is
but
terrible. It's that really fake cherry taste. It's awful. It almost tastes syrupy.
I love it.
But it's not sweet.
It's
No.
very
For how
weird.
much sugar that's in it, it's not sweet.
It is very weird.
It's tangy.
I like
sour.
it.
It's almost sour.
It's good though.
Yeah, I don't know about good.
It's
not a win.
You can mix it with Kool-Aid and make it good, probably.
Just add some more sugar to it. It'll probably come out.
If
Make
it's
it
not
sweet.
good enough, just add more sugar. That
Make it
seems
sweet.
perfectly reasonable.
There, you could put your whiskey in there or something.
Yeah, I could throw some whiskey in it. Might help.
There you go.
Robbie keeps looking at it with disdain. He must really not like it.
Well, it may be better if it was cold.
Yeah, so it got warmer than I had anticipated it.
Which doesn't make any sense because it's like 7
here.
degrees outside.
Yeah, it was miserable cold today. But it got warmer than I anticipated it would in my drive here. Apparently, I had my heater on blast more than I realized. So I apologize for that a little bit.
All right, so I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10.
I will. I'll second your 4 out of 10. I'll give you that one.
That's fine. I don't want you guys to like it.
If I was in the desert, I would drink it.
Yeah, if I was gonna die, if it was a choice between dying and drinking this, I would probably drink this. I might hesitate for a second, but then I would drink it.
No. It's not bad enough to choose death, but
No.
There's a long list of things I'd choose over it.
Yep, I think that's fair.
That's fine. That's fine. I can't drink this LaCroix shit.
We're just gonna
that
drink
just
LaCroix.
tastes like straight seltzer water to me.
See, the reason he likes this more is because this has a lot less carbonation in it, and the carbonation seems to be a lot finer. That's why he likes it. And it's got way more flavor in it.
It's the thing.
Prevailing
to me, the
flavor.
To me, the LaCroix has no flavor. It's just straight seltzer water.
Yeah, I don't like
and
that.
I can't do it.
You know, you could get 5 liters of Hy-V water for this.
Fine, Robbie. I'll try your.
You get 5 different
your
flavors.
Hy-V water, but it's probably not going to be as good. I don't know.
It's probably gonna be better.
It's probably not going to be flavored as strong.
Hy-V got it right. I'm just saying. Not the Canadians.
Oh, triggered. You're going to piss some people off, Robbie.
Damn it, Robbie.
All of our fan.
We got a couple. We got a few
multiple
Canadians.
Canadian
We got a
fans.
few Canadians.
Not as many as we have Australians, it seems.
Yeah, shout out to the Canadian
And,
the
and New
Australians.
Zealanders.
Yeah, don't lump them
We
together.
get really mad when we lump them together.
Yeah, they're two different. Those are
I
two different
apologize.
groups of people. New Zealand and Australia are two different countries.
Notice that they didn't argue about the being upside down or the hill fall instead of hill climb. They didn't argue about any of that. They just got mad about the fact that we lumped those two together.
We're not the same as those people.
We admit we're upside down and backwards. That's fine. But
But how dare you?
don't you dare.
How dare you, sir? It is
Robbie's
weird,
not
isn't it,
into
Robbie?
It's tangy. Why is it so tangy?
I don't like it. What's a big bottle cost?
I don't know. They don't
$6?
sell them at Hy-Vee. They just sell those.
Oh,
All right, I'll check
because
Amazon.
nobody can afford them.
Probably because, no one buys them. They just recently started carrying it, so I'm guessing they probably just bought a bunch of these to see how they would sell, and then they'll never buy it again because this probably
not.
sells terribly.
So that's you just buy that individually. It doesn't come in a 6-pack
Nope,
or anything like
it's
that.
individually. I think it was like between $2.25 and $2.50 a bottle.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I want to say it was $2.29 plus the bottle deposit and tax, so it's pushing that $2.50 mark by the time you're done with it, which is, granted, way too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even spend that much money on water.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
What are you swearing about over there, Robbie?
Clearly Canadian Country Raspberry, 1 bottle on Amazon. $18.99 plus free shipping.
How big?
It weighs 2 pounds. I don't know. It doesn't
So one large bottle is $18.
It doesn't give me an ounce.
They're all glass bottles, so that's probably some of the weight.
But $18 seems like a lot. I'm not talking into the mic at all.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like I said,
Stuff's weird. It's got me all messed up.
It was mostly just it tastes like my childhood is really what it boils down to. So that's fine. I appreciated that you entertained my walk down memory lane at least. I don't care if you didn't like it. That's not my problem.
Your childhood or the water?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair.
Let's do Adam's opener. Let's have Adam open it up one more time.
He got
Because he's opened it once, and it was kind of a misstep.
It was a dud.
Yeah, he kind of stumbled a little
He
bit.
lubricated us up a little bit with some water, and now it's time.
It's not.
Time
It did
to
not
open,
really.
Time to open
it's
it.
time to open it up for sure. Let's go ahead and open it up.
So this weekend I finally was able to return the camper that we borrowed for Grid Life.
Yeah, people probably don't understand. That's been sitting in Adam's driveway since June.
Yeah, I have not been able to use
blocking his access to
I
his
have not
garage.
been able to use 3/4 of my driveway or get to my garage in any way since we returned from Grid Life. That has finally been remedied, and but that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
So I also, in the process, had to return my dad's truck, and he needed to stop at a junkyard, which was conveniently located between where Katie's mom lives and my parents live. So I just met him there. so that we could get the inner fender off of a Firebird for his restoration project. But this is a junkyard I've been to probably a half a dozen times in the last couple of years. It's a friend of my dad's that owns it, and I love just wandering through it. It seems like every time I wander through it, I find something new and ridiculous and silly. So I got a couple interesting things I wanted to talk about. He had this. I'm sure you've seen the Opel GT, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what an Opel GT is?
Yeah.
So I always forget how tiny they are.
They're itty bitty.
They're super cool though.
Yeah, I like it actually.
There's a guy on my back road route for home from work that has one that's sticking out the back of his garage. I can just see, and it's tubbed. It's got giant drag slicks underneath it. They're practically touching each other in the middle. I'll bet that thing's a handful. That would be terrifying.
Yeah, there are a handful of guys that turned them into drag cars.
I would,
because they're
for
so
the short
freaking light.
wheelbase,
Tiny.
real
They weigh
narrow.
nothing.
That's got to be a squirrely ride at high speeds.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
So, he had a Beetle there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently this was a thing like back in the 70s. There was somebody that made a kit that had the front end of a 40 Ford.
And you put it on a Beetle?
And you would graft it onto a Beetle. And it doesn't sound like it would work, but it actually worked pretty well.
I have to say, that actually sounds really terrible.
I didn't hate...
Sounds awful.
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah.
Are you looking at a picture of it right now?
So I'll post these pictures on Facebook, and I tried to take pictures of each of the things I really wanted to talk about so that Robbie could post them on our YouTube page, because I always get berated by not taking pictures.
So that's a 40. That's a 40 Ford.
I think that's what it was. Don't quote me for sure, but it was something along that.
So it looks like it still
vintage.
uses the fenders from the Beetle.
I think it does. Yeah,
But it just takes the grill off.
I think it
the
just
Ford.
makes the grill and like has a hood attachment. Whoa. There's no need for throwing my phone around.
It's
didn't
god
send me
awful,
this.
Robbie.
I don't think it's that bad. There's a lot worse conversions out there.
It could be a lot worse.
And
but
at
that's-
first, I didn't even realize it was a Beetle. Like, it took me a few seconds of looking at it to realize, wait a second, that's a Beetle.
it's quite ugly.
It's pretty catastrophically ugly, actually. But I don't really like the original Beetle
No,
either. So
Yeah. But I think it's...
Yeah, it's
is that a 40 Ford, or is that an earlier Ford than that?
It could be. I can't say.
Because
for
I
sure.
think there was actually a kit.
Those
Because
all kind of melt together.
one point in my life, I had a '89 Thunderbird, and there was a kit to put a 40 Ford front end on the '89 Thunderbird. I found.
That looked bad too.
Do you have like the supercharged one?
No, there's a long story about. No, you're right. It is around a 40. Adam, mine must. Oh no, mine was a 49.
Oh, okay.
Or not. I didn't have one, but
Right.
my
Would
kit
have
was
been.
to put a 49 front end on a Thunderbird. No, it's a long. So this car that I had was supposedly, I was told, the first of the '89 Thunderbird was the first revision body style of the Thunderbird, and it was supposed to be a Super Coupe when the guy ordered it, and it wasn't.
Oh, I remember this story.
And so he basically checked every box, and this one was supposed to be supercharged, and when it came in, it wasn't, and it was the first one in the state, and they made him leave it in the dealership, and it sat in the dealership for 2 months. I would have been fucking pissed off.
So first of all, you got me the wrong car.
You got the wrong
and
car.
then you're holding it hostage.
Yeah, for 2 months. I'd be like, fuck you guys. You can
Yeah,
keep
go
it.
fuck
I'm going to go
yourselves.
find somebody else that's going to get me a supercharged one.
Yeah.
Now,
Wasn't
I don't.
it supposed to be a manual and it wasn't, and like a
No.
whole bunch of...
I don't think that body style you could get in a manual. I think the one before that you could. I think these were auto only. But at one point you could get a 5 liter in this style also. I don't know if the first year you could, but it was supposed to be a Super Coupe and it wasn't. I would have told him to get stuffed.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me another one, or I'm going to go find somebody else that is going to get me one.
Give me the one I ordered.
Right. That's the story I was told. I don't know. He could have
So
filled the form out
ridiculous.
wrong. He could have done something wrong.
Right.
I don't have a clue.
Either
maybe
way,
there was-
even outside of that, you can't hold my car hostage.
I've
That's
heard of this
bullshit.
before though. Like when you get, it's the first model.
Right, when they're
the
hot.
fir-
I saw
yeah, it's the
some,
first-
some chick had that problem with a Type R in Texas.
Yeah, they wanted to hold it. I don't know what the rule is. It may be a situation where, with Honda or Ford or whatever, they tell the dealership, okay, we're going to ship it, but you can't sign the title over to somebody until December 1st or
Yeah,
whatever.
that might be. But I feel like if it's a customer car, if it's an ordered car, a claimed car, they shouldn't be able to do that. I understand if the dealership gets one and Ford says, hey, you can't sell this, and someone walks in the front door and says, I want to buy that. Well, we can't sell it for 2 months. Fine, then when you can sell it, call me. That's a little different. But if I ordered a car and you got it, I'm taking that bad boy home.
Seems fair.
He didn't. I assume he hadn't paid for all of it yet.
Well,
so he'd just given him a deposit.
Yeah.
So all he had really paid for was the right to buy the car.
Right.
I'm sure there's probably not much you can do about it if they decide that they're gonna do that, short of walking away.
It's crap.
It is crap.
It is.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about stupid conversions and your junkyard exploration.
One of the things that I was really getting into while we were walking around was looking at some of these old cars interior-wise, especially dashboards, because I'm sure it's probably has something to do with crash standards and stuff like that, but interesting dash panels and these awesome gauge cluster layouts and stuff like that, they're just not as interesting as they used to be. You know, going and looking at old cars and stuff. And so I took a couple pictures of some interesting ones. They seemed, for whatever reason, to all be old, like, Dodges. Now, I don't know if that's just because he had a bunch of those that were, like, upscale models, or if maybe they just had the really cool ones. I don't know. But there were some that, like, the speedometer was clear, and when the sun would shine, it was like raised above the top of the dash and clear. And so when the sun shines through it, it lights it up for you.
Almost like a heads-up display?
Well, I don't even...
No, it's not on the windshield, but like
right.
It's in,
yeah.
like in your way.
In
almost.
view, yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of cool. Like, it's just unique little stuff like that. There was one that had like a push button on the dash for the transmission selection, and it makes me sad. Number one, it makes me sad that we can't do creative things like that anymore with our cars. We can't have these cool, although I guess maybe they do some neat stuff, and it just seems not as cool because it's all futuristic and technology driven, and I don't know. And the other thing is, it drives me nuts that there's so many people. You'll go to a Good Guys, and they took all that shit out, and they smoothed the entire dash, and they put a bunch of odometer gauges in it. You know, they took the uniqueness and the character of that car, and they wiped it out and put a bunch of catalog bought gauges that anybody could have got.
You couldn't just, if you really didn't like the gauges, you couldn't just put them in the pods that were there.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people just like buy that Classic Industries digital dash, or that Dakota digital dash, and they'll just flush that in there.
I absolutely hate those Dakota digital.
Yeah,
dashes.
and I'm
They
just
drive me
like, why
insane.
you had a unique and cool looking gauge panel, or there was something special about that car, because back then they changed that stuff almost annually, and you took all that out and you fiberglassed it all over and you painted it the same color as the outside of the car, and you threw a bunch of catalog bought gauges in there. You took all the character and uniqueness and interesting facets of that car and you wiped them out.
I think the problem with those Dakota digital dashes, a lot of those cars that we see were like 90s builds, and that was hot shit back then, because my Thunderbird had something on it was digital. I think the Speedo and maybe the TAC were digital. I know my dad's 89 Blazer had a digital dash.
Some of the like later model turbo Dodges had these crazy...
I just think that was... There was a point where people were building hot rods, and that was the thing. Is like, oh, you got to get a Dakota digital dash, dude. It's the new hot thing.
Right, because, we had just kind of started figuring out LED lighting and stuff like that.
So I think a lot of that's just carried over. Like, do you remember there was a period of time where guys were putting square, like, C10 headlights in everything?
Yeah.
It drives me insane. It's such a bad...
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So you'll take like probably a 49 Ford of some kind, or a Mercury or something like that, or a equivalent year pickup, which in the 40s, everything was very round. It was very swoopy. Everything was very flowing, ovals, circles, all that. And then they would put square fucking headlights in these cars, and it's just so obnoxious.
Yeah, and it doesn't fit.
It doesn't make any
sense. It's just...
Like, why? And then, obviously they'd fiberglass around them and, try to smooth it in and all that. But it's just, okay, you have a round fender, you have, round grills, you got round portholes, you got round taillights. Oh, now you got a square headlight. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense at all. But that was, for a while, that was the thing. It was digital, it was square, it was, the 80s, the 90s, that was the look. And Now the problem is everybody's going to want to put an iPad in everything.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about losing more of that kind of Art Deco style gauge layouts and stuff. You just throw an iPad in there. The Tesla Model 3, that's just basically a giant iPad. Same thing with the S, all the other auto manufacturers. The thing that drives me nuts about the new ones is that they don't try to integrate the screen into the dash.
Oh, it just
looks like they
out.
set it on the dash.
Yeah.
Now, I could understand if somebody was trying to make a budget car and they said, hey, we're just going to put a dock in here. You download an app, you dock it. I think people would do that if somebody would come out with that piece of technology.
I'm surprised that there isn't somebody that does that. Like, you just take it with you.
Yeah, just dock it.
This now is your tablet.
Right, you can plug your Amazon tablet in, you can plug your iPad in, you can plug your whatever in here, And then as technology progresses, you can upgrade that separately, because they're doing that on airplanes now where they're taking the screens out of the headrests and they're just giving you Wi-Fi. Connect and you can play. Here's 40 movies you can play or TV shows or whatever. And so it works out great for the airlines because they don't have to pay to upgrade that technology every few years, and everybody's used to using their own they've got it with them anyway. They just connect to the Wi-Fi and off they go.
Who doesn't
Right.
travel with that stuff?
And aerospace talking, saved weight. If you take out a TV screen out of every one of those chairs, that's millions of dollars in saved fuel.
Those people are carrying their iPads whether that screen's there or not.
Right. And I think a lot of people do it in their cars too, just the same.
Yeah.
You're just docking it versus not.
Infotainment centers, I don't think sell as good as they used to. Like rear entertainment screens, I don't think those sell as well as they
Only in the
used to.
minivans, but you'll figure that out next year.
I don't even
just a
think
box
that
you gotta
they're
check
that
when you order.
popular anymore in most of those because you just hand the kid the iPad and he's good to go.
That's probably true.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that stuff goes away.
You are not going to buy a brand new one anyways. I mean, you're still
you're
have one.
gonna get a used minivan for sure. Grand Caravan.
And they'll have one.
It's going to be
Really,
a Grand
really,
Caravan.
really annoyed by the fact that you still had that fucking picture.
Not
Where
only
did you find that picture?
All three,
That was so.
three of them are on my phone still.
When last year, when the guys from Team Clearcoat were on their way to the Chump Race in Road America, and they stopped here in Des Moines, and we ate with them. They were doing that cross country trip in a Toyota Sienna, I think it was.
Yeah, a rented minivan.
A rental minivan. And so when we were leaving the restaurant, I was kind of piddling around inside of it, and Robbie snagged pictures of me playing around inside
He
of this
says piddling
minivan.
around, but he had a pretty big smile on his face.
was
If I
pretty-
remember,
he was-
he
'cause I
seemed
was-
pretty jazzed.
I was
pretty
making
pumped.
fun of him for
No,
being in a minivan.
you were not.
I was not like,
wasn't-
dude, I should
wasn't
get
there.
one of these.
I wasn't there, but according to Robbie, you
He
were
was
pretty pumped
shopping.
on it. He was
I was
talked
shopping.
about it.
Yeah,
for
because
days.
I'm going to buy a brand new Toyota Sienna.
No.
It won't-
See, it's
it won't
used
be
now.
new
It's
by
a
the time-
used.
By the time
minivan.
you buy one, that one will be well used.
No, still be way out of my price range.
Not if you get a rental one. The mileage
Still
will be high.
way out
price
of
will
my
be low.
price.
Get him a
range.
Grand Caravan.
Minivans don't hold their value.
No,
They
God, they
tank.
tanked. It's terrible. That's the worst vehicle you can buy for resale value is a minivan.
But if you buy a used one, it's value.
You're in the money.
Yeah. The size of the vehicle, the practicality, it's
You need to talk to your
it's like the same size as an SUV, but like a tenth of the cost.
right, and
but
it's
twice
cheaper
the
to
gas
run.
mileage.
Cheaper to run.
Uh-huh.
The insurance is cheaper.
There's
It's
parts
easier to-
everywhere.
It's way easier to get the kid in and out of the back.
It is, it really is.
Yeah,
And you
sliding
got
door.
sliding doors on both sides. You can
Right.
basically just jump through the whole thing.
Right.
Throw the kid in there.
It could really change our video game too.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
I mean, I'm not buying
when
one.
we're
You
making YouTube videos.
can. Yeah, man.
Just have the sliding door open as we're driving down the road, getting rolling shots and shit. Just hold on to Michael while he's hanging out the side of the van. It'll be great.
yeah, man.
Whatever you got to do to justify it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool,
fine.
man.
I'm
I mean,
fine
it's
with
fine.
that.
It's totally fine.
We clearly just sold you on it, as if you weren't sold already.
He's super sold. He's ready to
He
go.
was sold.
I
when
believe
he sold
last
it.
week I said I would rather own a minivan than one of your fucking crossovers. I don't know why you guys are.
That's again apples and oranges. That's a 7-passenger van.
They're
Versus
not that much bigger than a lot of the crossovers that are out
exactly.
there.
That's the
those
point,
are
though.
SUVs, and
And they're dumb.
that's different.
I just don't understand why people are so hooked on those fucking crossovers.
It's just a big car.
It is. It's a tall
It's
station
a tall
wagon.
big car.
It's a tall station wagon.
Why do
That's all it
people
is.
hate station wagons so much if they
'Cause they're
love
fugly.
those things? Oh, yeah, because those crossovers are such strikingly good-looking vehicles.
They're not
A Subaru what are they, Foresters? Is that what they
Sure.
are now?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
such strikingly good-looking cars.
That's more of a station wagon because it's long.
It's a crossover SUV.
It's kind of a
Is that a
crossover.
crossover
Thing.
technically?
It's absolutely a crossover.
An Outback is kind of more of a station.
Yeah, I
wagon.
guess that's what I was thinking
The
about.
Forester is the squarishy thing.
Oh yeah.
It's taller.
Yeah.
The old ones were sweet when they're slammed. Like what Rob Wing had. Do you
Yes.
remember that? That
Oh,
thing
yeah, I
was
remember-
pretty
I remember
cool. You got to admit. It may not be a build you'd want, but it was pretty sweet looking. So,
I mean, if you want to slam your minivan, that's fine.
Doesn't Rutledge Wood have a slammed minivan?
Rutledge Wood has like everything. That dude's crazy. He has a 2JZ rear-wheel drive Scion XB.
He also
Yeah.
just bought an AE 86.
I don't know. I
It's
can't even keep
super
up with the
JDM,
man.
yo. Wide body and looks great. It's a great looking car. I really like the 86 now.
Oh, really?
I'm really big on
The
it.
old
I
ones?
said,
What did you say that?
well, last week I was talking about how I think they're better looking than the Supra.
Oh,
No, he's talking the original 86.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The AE 86.
The square
Sorry,
one,
sorry,
the
sorry.
wedge one. Actually, I
Those are
like
good- those are good looking, too.
the new 86 has grown on me as well because they're getting cheaper, I think, and there's more options to do silly things with them. And but the old one's pretty sick. What's his name? I can't remember his name right now. He's got the green flake one. Flake is life. I always remember his
Isn't it
Instagram. I can't
Dan?
remember. Yeah, it's Dan. Dan's
Yeah.
got that super sick one that he's done wide body shit too.
Right.
He keeps saying he's going to sell it, and it's not that I would buy it, but I'm interested in it enough where you go like, what would you sell it for though? I couldn't afford it. That's a really nice car, especially after he gets
well
it
taken care
repainted.
of, yeah.
He had that little accident at the July O-Drift event, but he's repaired. He's
Apparently-
put wide body fenders on the front. He's going to repaint it, I'm sure.
What motor was in that? Was that the V?
I don't know my Toyota motors very well.
Was that a Toyota motor still?
Yeah, and it's turbocharged.
I wanted to say it was a 6-cylinder.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what it would have been though. But wasn't in it? It wasn't a 2J or a
No.
1J.
Thought
I want to say it
like
was a V6.
I don't know my Toyota motors at
It's
all.
a VQ35.
That's a Nissan.
Is it?
That's what his hashtag is. VQ35.
You gotta be kidding me.
86.
Really?
Nice.
Damn,
It's a
he ain't fucking
350Z
around, guys.
motor.
That's crazy.
It's pretty sweet.
Anyway, is that it for your opener?
I don't know. I just old cars are so much more interesting than new cars when to like look at. It just amazes me.
Not always.
I think back then it was about the aesthetic.
Right.
Now it's about the toys.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like Robbie made this point quite a while back. We shouldn't give a shit about pedestrian safety. We shouldn't be designing cars so that they don't kill you when you get hit by them at 5 miles an hour. That design philosophy, when you look at those old cars versus the new cars and the front ends and the awesome grills and these sweet, hood emblems and stuff like that, that clearly shows through, and it's really disappointing.
It's the way it's going, though. They're going to get more and more similar looking
Yep.
and more lazily designed on the inside.
Yeah. It's
More-
all about the toys. It's
more
all about how
more
many things you
digital
can give
dashes.
me to break.
That's why people keep buying new ones, though.
Yeah, I guess.
They like their toys. They like their buttons.
I guess.
Check out Eyes Up Auto Art, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. He's supporting our boy James over at King of Motorsports now, which is pretty sweet. So his logo's on the nose of the Spec Racer Ford.
Nice.
Sure you guys saw that. It's pretty sweet.
He's a married man now. Congratulations.
James.
To James.
Not Zach.
Not Zach, yep. But so that's pretty rad. He's got a pretty cool picture of a RS that he did on there as well. If you guys want to get something for yourself or get something for a loved one for Christmas, which is coming up here pretty fast, hit him up with a message, send him a DM. Just shoot him a picture of what you're thinking about doing. All his pricing's based on size. They're pretty freaking dope. That's all there is to it. It is that simple.
Everyone needs one.
It is that simple. Eyes Up Auto Art.
Yeah.
We got a topic this week, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
It's your topic, Adam.
My
You need more
topic? I'm
yeah.
not even the
You
one that
need to be the
suggested
hype
it
man.
originally.
Wait, who suggested it originally?
You're the one who suggested it originally.
Oh, is it?
I just
from
suggested
this?
we do it this week.
I'm putting it on you.
That's fine. I'll
You
take
chose it, so
it. That's fine. I'll take it. So it's cars that we think should be brought back, and it was originally inspired by that ridiculous Ford dealership that is building Tribute Lightnings.
Which is awesome.
do you
They're
like the
sweet,
Tribute
aren't they?
Lightning?
Well, they're taking the what's a single cab short box.
Yep.
It's like a work truck.
F-150, the as base as you can get, and then they're making it awesome by putting a Roush supercharger on it, and it hangs on to the Ford warranty because it's a Roush dealer, which is a Ford dealer.
Ames Ford is a Roush dealer.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is it so it's 650 horsepower, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
Somewhere in that
something
neighborhood.
ridiculous.
Is it-
does very good burnouts, I can tell you that
Oh, I
much.
bet it does. Awesome
Yeah.
burnouts. Do we have any idea what it costs?
$50,000.
$50,000 for 650 horsepower.
That's not...
That's
Seems reasonable.
in the truck market, that seems incredibly reasonable to me.
Seems reasonable because I bet in 20 years it'll still be worth like 20 grand or 25 grand if you take good care of it.
At
yeah.
least.
Because it's like those so back in 1993, I think they did that SS 454.
Those things are worth
1500.
crazy
Oh
money.
yeah, you can spend 30 grand on a clean one,
which is
for
very
sure.
weird to me because they're not
They're
not that interesting.
kind of slow. It's a 7.4 liter fuel injected 1500 basically, and it's not really. I mean, it's kind of performance oriented, but
I know
it's
of
kind
the
of not.
specialty
Also.
trucks of that general era, not the one I'd choose.
What would you choose? The Ram Charger?
No, actually,
Cyclone.
it's one of the cars. It's
Oh,
one of
yeah,
the
it's
vehicles
true.
that was
That's
on
very
my
true.
list.
Yeah, the Cyclone. That
Yes.
that totally makes sense.
Yes, so that. I mean, we're here now, so that was the one. That was the number one car on my list.
So you want
that
a small
needs to be rebuilt.
turbocharged?
Take a Colorado,
Yep.
drop it down a few inches.
Slam it. 2-wheel drive.
Well, no, because the original Cyclones were all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Take the 3.8 liter V6 that they're putting in the Camaro, 3.8, 3.6,
Sure. It's one of those numbers.
one of those, whatever. Put one turbocharger on it. None of these twin turbo, small turbo, no lag things. I don't want any of that.
You want a
Get that
lot of
shit out
lag.
of here. One medium-sized turbo.
What's a big turbo?
please.
92 millimeters? Something
No,
like
not that.
That's a big turbo.
Not that
Put
big.
that on
Not that big. Like just like a medium-sized turbo.
What's a medium-sized turbo?
I don't even know.
63 millimeters? I'm making up numbers.
I don't even know.
I don't know shit about turbochargers. I'll be completely
I
honest
don't
with
need to. You know,
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I don't know the measurements.
Next year.
Yeah,
you're gonna do
Yeah.
M90 things. Remember
Hell yeah. Which, you know what the M90 came on?
the Ford Thunderbird?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming full circle. I'm going to get my supercharger.
Yeah.
It's just later.
A very different vehicle.
Yep.
There's a car I've never seen drifted.
Thunderbird?
Yeah, it's just a Fox
probably-
body.
Robbie's-
isn't it?
Robbie's going to Google right now.
There's probably a reason for
It's just
it.
a Fox body, isn't it?
It's a fat
like
Fox
suspension
body.
wise,
Sure.
basically.
Probably not.
Here, Adam, here's a whole picture, like a bunch of them. People do it.
Is it?
Well, I'm sure.
Are those really? Is that what that is?
You can drift whatever you
Blow
want.
one
Dude,
of
if
those
there's
up
a
for me. That's
rear-wheel
far enough
drive
away, I can't
vehicle,
see
it has been drifted by somebody. It's just not very often.
Wait a second. Yeah, that's a Thunderbird.
Well, son of a bitch. Look at that. That's pretty sick.
What happened
Does
to
it say
yours? Do you
anything
have any
about
idea?
I got it for free, and then I flipped it and made some money on it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
get it.
sure, and I sold it to some high school girl, and I'm sure she fucking
It's gone.
Wrapped it around a
it's
tree.
long gone.
First snow of the year, and she
Yep.
wrapped that around a tree.
Yep. I got that car. I bought it when I was 12 and sold it when bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
when I
it.
was 12 and
Oh, I didn't realize it was that
was I
deal.
14? I think
I
it was.
thought-
You were young.
I was
I thought you had
14 or
driven it for
15.
a while. Was my
How long
understanding
did I have
of
that
it.
for? I got rid of it when I was 15, maybe.
Driving it to school on your school permit.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Hell yeah!
I don't know how I got away with this, but I had my school permit when I was 14.
Yeah, that's
think that's
the
okay.
that's the youngest age you can get it.
Yeah, I think
Can you
in
get
Iowa,
it at 14?
Yeah.
in Iowa,
thought-
you have to be a certain distance from the school, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because you can. You
Oh, I was-
You can beat. You can.
you're
long
you're
fucking
well
ways away.
outside of that.
Yeah.
but I feel like it had to be. You had to be like 8 miles, or it was some weird number.
Maybe they just assumed I lived on a farm, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's fine. You just let them drive in."
So-
It's different out here, where you literally might live 15 miles away from school,
Yeah,
and
or like you get farther north where there's a lot of consolidated schools. There'll be a school in the county, and
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for kids to have to be bused 30 minutes across.
County.
the county to get
Oh.
to school.
my bus ride was an hour.
Oh, mine was
Every
mine
fucking
was
day.
like at least an hour.
That's crazy.
They would flip it at semester, and so then I was either the first person on and the let's see what it was. I was always the first person on, first person off, or last person on, last person off. Because we live
Sounds awful.
relatively close to school. And so they flipped the route in the middle of the year.
So anyway, don't bring the Ford Thunderbird back. I'm good.
You sure?
When they did
I
the
want the
reissue,
Ford-
when they
the
did
last-
the reissue, they ruined it.
Yeah, they really
It's
fucked
so
it up.
bad.
So bad.
It was so terrible.
Was that
car?
rear-wheel drive?
I think it was.
No.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was based on the Mustang.
That would be kind of a funny drift slut.
Actually, be hilarious if somebody actually built that, especially if it had the 5-liter. Do a Coyote swap on
Yeah,
it.
do something. Or like a...
Just completely.
those
Just
I want to say those were 6 cylinders. Put like a 2J in it or something silly.
I think you're right. I don't even think they came with a V8. It was so stupid.
So bad.
It's up there with the Prowler for me.
They're almost 3,800 pounds. They're huge.
Really? Because they're not...
05?
They're not...
The 05 had 280 horsepower and weighed 3775.
They're physically not that big of a car.
No.
That's an incredible
It's so
weight.
ugly,
That's like some GM
especially
shit.
in that green, that stupid green
That
color.
seafoam green.
Yeah,
But you love that color.
I love that color, but it was like that period where everybody thought they needed to be retro, and that was the one that went too far.
Yep.
Factory cars can't pull that color off anyway. If you're doing it on some ridiculous, build, that's one thing. But a factory car, you can't pull that off.
Yeah.
Wow, it's off. Does that have a white top? A
Yeah, it's got
cream white top?
The cream white top.
Man, that's a stupid car. That was a really dumb car. So let's not bring the Thunderbird back.
No.
Let's
But
let it
anyway,
die.
I want a Cyclone. That's what I want in life.
I had
Well, do you want? It has to be a Cyclone, or is it just? It would be nice to have a small truck again.
Well, I don't see why they. I mean, it would be nice to have a small truck, but that's not even. I was trying to think of a vehicle that could be built with the current platform and just be changed from there. So
We should have discussed rules long before we.
that's fine. You do whatever you
you
do.
can do whatever you want, Robbie.
But-
This
but
is all
like-
hypothetical.
Totally
They
looked at
don't
it differently.
currently, to my knowledge, they don't have like an extreme package like they had with my S10, which was
Right.
100% visual.
Right.
Had nothing to do with power or anything like that. But even, lowered 2 inches from what the base model would be, all-wheel drive, the V6, a single turbo, give me some lag. I would prefer the manual, even though the Cyclone never came with it. But, in this day and age, it'd probably be an automatic anyway.
Yeah.
Put those crazy shocks on there that come on the ZL1, just like the ZR2 package has, except, I don't need nearly as much travel. But, make it turn corners and stuff, it'd be great. Be super cool.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Make like 500 horse with it. It'd be a ton of fun.
Just spinning wheels.
All day. But
Do you have anything fun on your list, Robbie?
I really didn't have a lot of fun. I was
Did
really
you bring back?
serious.
Did
I
you
was
bring
real
back some
serious.
sedans or something?
No, I was real serious though.
strange.
Just bring back Pontiac, please.
That's an interesting one from Robbie.
Pontiac.
Bring back Pontiac.
Pontiac did
Pontiac
get brought
was so
back. They're
good.
called Buick.
no, Pontiac was
Because
so
that's what
good.
they're trying to make Buick branded as now was
so-
basically what Pontiac already
That-
was.
Yeah, I know.
That's what got really screwy because after in the 2000s, Pontiac's like, all right, we're gonna right the ship. We're gonna stop selling these stupid front wheel drive cars.
But
We're
even
gonna-
those cars were
Yeah.
decent cars.
The Grand Prix were kind of fun, especially
Grand
as the
Ams were all
GT
right.
packet or
The
the,
Grand Am
GTP package.
was not good. The Grand Am was a piece of garbage.
It was a reliable. I mean, I'm not
No,
saying it's like
I don't think that it was. I think it was just straight hot
If you
garbage.
didn't get
No.
if you didn't get the quad 4 motor, the rest of them were okay.
I
can get
heard
them with
that,
a
I heard that they were
3.1 liter,
stupid
that was
unreliable.
with the
fine.
3800. Those
I don't think
things
the
lasted
Grand
forever.
Am came with the 30. I think they just had the 3.1 or 3.2, whatever it was. The Grand Prix, you could get the 3.8 in.
Yeah,
That was like the best motor GM's ever built.
That's what
That
I'm
was
saying.
not a LS derivative.
The North
I'm
Star.
not, yeah. So I'm not saying it's like
No, the 3.8 liter
Oh,
V6.
I thought you said V8. Sorry. Did they ever do a North? They did a North Star Grand Prix. After that one, there was a
the
V8 Grand
GXP.
Prix.
I thought
Yeah.
that was just like an LS4 though.
No, I don't think
It might
so.
have. You might be right.
There was
yeah,
there was a period
little
they did
while
one
in
they
there.
did one where it was a North Star based.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
it was
right.
like 270 horsepower or something like that.
You're right.
But the stuff after that, they really seem to be on their game. G8, obviously, they threw the
Yeah.
GTO in there, even though everybody bitched about that. That was
See,
a great car.
I liked the GTO.
I think people
Liked it
came
a lot.
around to it too late.
Yeah,
They
people.
killed
Oh,
it.
this is awesome.
They killed it, and everyone was like, "Son of a bitch! This car
This
was
is
great.
cool."
We should have
Yeah.
bought these."
Yep.
Now they're expensive.
Now they're gone.
Yeah, well, even the Bonnevilles had the SOCIs and like the superchargers.
That's what I was thinking of Bonneville. I think the Bonneville had the North Star in it. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I
the
grew up.
Bonneville GXP had the North
I
Star.
grew up being driven around the backseat of Bonnevilles. My mom had, I think, 2 or maybe 3 of them that
Yeah.
she put 250,000 miles on them and then went and bought new ones. My little sister got it passed on to her at one point. I mean, we put a ton of miles on those things. They were great little cars.
I just bring back Pontiac.
You just want the name. You just want the badge.
Just bring it back. We'll just pick up where we left off. We'll
Pretend like it never happened.
Yeah,
Bring back the Firebird. Let's just go the whole way, you know?
the WS6 Firebird. That
Yeah, buddy.
was
Yeah, boy.
that was the be all end all.
That was. In high school, that
cars
thing
for
was
me.
That Ram
That
Air
was-
hood, man.
that thing was dope.
If I see a not flatback, like a black, perfectly clean,
WS6.
WS6 sitting at a car show. Oh man,
With the hood.
it takes me back. I wish
Gotta have that
That's
hood.
the one
that
I always
hood is
wanted.
so
That is
awesome.
a mean car, man.
That's got to be one of the most ridiculous factory hoods I've ever seen.
I remember a kid in my high school got one given to him on his 16th birthday. And man, I can't believe he's still alive. I think I know.
Yeah, I think I probably would have killed myself too.
I remember there was a story. I wasn't there, but there was a story that he was going down the road between Dune. So there's a town between Hull and Rock Valley called Dune, and it's just north.
Heavy air quotes town.
Small town. But there's a blacktop that runs from Dune to the highway. And he was apparently going like 135, just booking it, completely lost orientation as to where he was in regards to the next highway, and totally blew through the highway, through the stop sign at 135 and into the gravel road behind it.
Oh,
Somehow didn't flip the car, somehow didn't destroy it, and was able to just be fine. But my God.
that's crazy.
Yikes. Makes
But
me so
then-
mad
That's a
hearing
fast
that's
car,
such
man.
a nice car.
Very fast car.
That's
Yeah,
a
it was-
fast car.
I mean, that's an extremely expensive car to be gifted to a 16-year-old.
Yeah, it is.
Those are still pricey now. You find a really nice one,
Mm-hmm.
pay for it.
Word.
Yeah, if I came across one of those at the right price, I'd have a hard time saying, I don't know what I'd do with it.
I know, exactly.
Just drive it, I guess.
You got
enjoy
space
it.
for it now. Just throw it in the
Yeah.
building, drive it every once in a while.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be good times. Then if something goes wrong, I can pull parts off of that car, and my 240 can.
Yeah, exactly. They got the same. They're basically the same.
engine, yeah.
And the 240 can get a little crazier because you got a
you got
Sunday
another one.
driver, you got a cars and coffee car, and then you've got the
Exactly.
240 you can just do silly things with.
And then I need a Scion FRS for my drifting stuff. That's the
I
dream.
thought for sure he was going to say XB. I was like, where are you going with this, Robbie? Get back in that show car scene.
Go all VIP.
Get the curtains and shit. Get some 22s
Fuck
on that.
yeah.
Tuck it. Put some air right on it.
love-
Ooh, Robbie.
I love the first gen XB.
I think it's stupid. I am not a fan.
I think they're great.
Have you ever been inside one?
No.
No, I don't think I
I have.
There's so much room.
Really?
You sit inside and you just look around going, God damn
do I
it,
do
this-
in here?
This is practical. It's so practical.
Oh, see, so it's terrible because Robbie likes
No,
it. It's like a weird
I don't
crossover.
Really, I don't really like it. I just, when you look at it outside, you're like, it's kind of a big little car. It's weird. It looks smaller than a big car, a regular car or sedan. But then you sit and you're like, where's all this room come from?
It's built on the TZ platform, right? They're the same underpinnings, aren't they? I think.
I don't know. I just couldn't believe how much room was inside it.
I wouldn't hate it if they brought Scion back. It needs to be better branded. Maybe not like call it Scion, just let it be Toyota. But I feel like that was just poorly advertised.
Well, they rebranded some of them as Toyotas, obviously.
right.
Not all of them.
They kind of
Not even close to all of them. But
No, they killed the most important one. Let's be real here. They killed the IQ.
no, I thought you could get a Toyota IQ. It's dead? I thought you could get a Toyota
Oh,
IQ. now.
I thought IQ went out with Scion.
Robbie,
'cause
you
I don't
got the
think that
Google
was.
machine?
I don't think
I'll
that was
try.
a very good selling car for them.
Toyota IQ 2018 Toyota IQ.
That's not looking good.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck.
That got killed.
Yes? Available?
Oh baby. Oh baby.
In left-hand drive?
The release date and price. Hold on, I can't find it.
Anticipation is
Yeah.
killing me, Robbie.
in the UK and
63
Japan.
horsepower.
Yes? What else?
There
That can be
is one.
fixed,
That's all I can tell you. Is
That
there
can be
is-
fixed.
There's a 2018 Toyota IQ.
Hell yeah.
It's probably only available in Europe and
You probably
Japan.
can't get it in U.S. markets. Unless you're on the U.S. website.
I'll be about $35,000 base model.
That seems a
Are
little
you on
expensive.
high.
Toyota.co.uk? or-
Toyota car darkquest.com.
Oh, so it's not
I don't
even a
even know where
Toyota
you are.
web
I'm
site.
deep.
$35,000.
He's deep into the web.
Yeah,
I had to go into
He's for sure got a
you're
virus.
pretty close to the dark web, Robbie. I would back out if I were you.
That's the only way I could find it, and it's worth it.
So I guess you can't get one, which is a bummer.
Yeah,
Nah, you
I
can
was
get
gonna
one
say.
over
I,
Not for 35,000. In my mind, you can't get one.
Oh, then yeah. No.
I could buy a lot of car for 35 grand.
Yeah,
What are they selling used for?
Annoyingly large.
not
sums of
as cheap
money.
as you would expect.
No, they're not. They
They pull a
actually
premium
held their
on the used
volume pretty
market.
well.
$9,000, $10,000.
Oh, this one's 6,500.
Has it got 10,000 billion miles on it?
34,000.
Oh,
That's reasonable.
send that one over to me. I'll take it.
He'll buy it tomorrow.
New daily.
He'll
That'd
save.
be so cool.
He'll save money. And he'll save that much of gas in like a
Yeah,
month and a half.
actually, that's true. The gas I would save would pay for the car payment.
That's more than true.
I know your feels there.
Spend at least $60 a month on or a week on gas.
You don't even have that
Yeah,
far to
imagine
drive.
I
if
know.
you had to commute.
I know. I
I mean, I don't know what you do for like errands and like how far you
I
have to
put on
drive for those. but
16,000 miles last year.
That's not
Really?
That's not that many.
No, it's not that many.
I think that's average, isn't it?
Yeah, I
roughly.
spend probably
Yeah.
50. I put premium in, so I spend probably
Right.
$50 a week on gas.
It's that SS life, man.
Yeah.
It is at SS
And
Life.
you-
6 liters. Thirsty.
What is it? 12, 15 miles to work.
To work, it's 12 miles.
Yeah.
15 miles a gallon. $3 gallon premium.
So you spend every day.
$30.
Like-
22 miles a day, basically, plus probably another
Just
40 miles on the weekend.
Don't do the math. You don't need to know.
Monday morning every week is spent or his Monday morning at work is just earning his gas money for the week. Those first 4 hours he can write off his gas money for the week after taxes.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice that many people will decide not. But you know what? To be honest with you, it's probably a mile per hour or two better than the equivalent like pickup truck from the same year.
No, I'm sure.
Because our 6 liter pickup gets probably 12 or 13 miles to the gallon.
What I think is hilarious is that my 4.3 liter V6 gets, if I'm lucky, I can get 15.
Yeah, my Bravada
16
would
miles
get
to the gallon.
had 4.3 in it. It would get 16. I'm like, this is super lame. Yeah, and it makes like half the horsepower.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's
Yeah.
happening? There's just fuel being dumped in there,
Yeah,
and it's
they
just
just-
disappearing.
yeah,
it's evaporating before it
They
gets combusted.
pump
I
it
think.
right into the exhaust, like
Yep.
pre-cat.
Yep, it's just dripping out of the back of the truck.
It just upsets me.
It is. It's crazy. I remember that when I got that
Especially
Bravada.
when you guys like talk about, like, I bet Robbie's 240 gets like pretty good gas mileage if he's just driving it down
not-
the highway.
Not terrible.
you probably get 22
Because it's
miles
a
to
pretty
go.
light car and it's decently, it's not a brick driving down the road
Right.
aerodynamically. And so he probably gets pretty decent gas mileage and he makes double the power that the vehicle I get.
You might even get 25 miles to the gallon. Which new Corvette gets 29.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practical, Robbie.
Yeah.
Practical.
You can't afford to not buy.
You
it.
can't afford
almost-
not to. That's
I don't
what
know
I'm
why
saying.
we don't all own brand new Corvettes.
Speaking of Corvettes,
What are you going to bring back, Robbie?
the split window from '63.
Ooh.
You can go down to Carl's and buy one of those conversions. They're
I know.
terrible.
Actually, that's
Don't
a good
do
point.
it.
That one doesn't count. You can't
No.
buy that.
So
need
bad.
One, I need one with a warranty from Chevy.
Okay. those
You probably get a warranty from Carl.
replicas that Carl's sells.
Are
Not
messed
good.
up,
Not
man.
good.
But people buy them, and they're
They love
really
'em.
expensive. They're like more than $100,000.
Yeah, because you got to buy a car too. You got to buy the car and then do the conversion, and it's not a simple thing,
Yeah, they basically unbody the whole car and rebody
which
it.
is really hard to do on a fiberglass car.
It's so stupid
safely.
looking.
It's crazy.
You're looking
I don't
it
know why
up,
people
Yeah,
do that.
they're. I feel like they could do something to it to make it look better.
Unfuckery it.
It's possible. I think there's something. It's almost there. You know what I mean? It's
It is. It's like really close.
It's
It's like-
80% of the way to
I was
being there.
gonna give them a solid C average. They're like,
It's a pretty C car.
they're like, yeah, I got. The intent was good. The execution was.
A for effort,
Yep.
but
It's still kind of weird looking.
It's a college effort. Like, well, I got the degree. It's there.
you're not going to be able to
But I'm
use
not on-
it.
When somebody asks you
well.
what your GPA is,
I'm not on the honor roll. I'll tell you that.
exactly. You're not going to work for Morgan Stanley. Let's put it that way.
But on your split window, if Callaway can make a wagon hatch,
And that looks terrible.
that looks fantastic.
It looks so much better than that Carl's car does.
Why couldn't they make a split window hatch?
That'd be dope.
They could do it because they don't care about the regulation side of it.
That's all they really need to do is just make a hatch that unbolts, or you just unbolt the factory hatch,
Yeah,
bolt this in, split window coupe.
I'm into it.
I'm all about that.
I like it.
Let's build it.
Robbie will have two.
Think we could turn the 240 into a split window?
Yeah, we could run
We
some.
can do whatever you
Dude,
want,
you got
Robbie.
vinyl. Just run some vinyl down the middle. Split window, bitches.
I like it.
Someone should do that. Do it to the RX-7.
You do it. You're the one that's vinyl wrapping your car.
I got other
Then
things.
you- then
I got
you-
other things to wrap.
Then you definitely need the license plate to say 4 in vet.
Oh, that really pissed people off. God, I should do it.
That was the one I was going to get, but then I decided I don't like vanity plates.
I
It's all you, Robbie.
No, I get it.
It's all you.
I was really disappointed when they took away my 007 license plate.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that you had that.
I had it for 10 years. Then they made me get a new license plate because
Right,
I had that license
yeah.
for 10 years. No.
Yeah.
It was 007 RZK, and the RZK means nothing, but the 007 is kind of cool. Now I don't remember what it is
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, I was checking in somewhere with my car, and I had to write down what my license. I don't have a freaking clue what my license plate
Yeah, like
number.
at a hotel or
That's like
something
asking me
that.
what somebody's cell phone number
Right.
is. How would I know that?
Somebody's gonna be like, dude, you don't know what your license plate number is? No, I don't. And you know what? I've had the same one for like 10 years and 4 cars.
Yeah, now it's going to change.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter now. They're gonna change it.
Yeah, I changed my cell phone number twice in like 3 weeks. I have no clue what my cell phone number is.
I only
right
know
now.
one cell phone number. It's my dad's, and it's because I had to call him when I was like 7 when I
And
came
he
home.
still
from-
has it.
Right, and I could dial it on the home phone number, but I don't my mom's cell phone numbers changed. Everybody else I know. I mean, at some point I had my high school girlfriend's cell phone number memorized, but that's
Your
gone.
dad's
obviously.
livelihood is based on his cell phone in a way, so he probably
he
can't change it,
his
you know?
number.
Yeah. I don't even know my own right now. So
That's fair. I get it.
I don't have to call myself.
Get it. Should I do some? I have
hear it.
I have a big list.
hear it.
I would like to see I would like to see a first gen Explorer again. A small
Like the
body
two-
on
like the
frame.
two-door?
Yeah, or 2-door or 4-door, but a small body on frame, like a half size SUV.
Body on frame's like 100% dead, right?
Well, your Tahoes and Suburbans.
Yeah, your trucks.
Are they still
Truck-based stuff.
They
is
still
the
are
body
that
on-
the
yeah.
big, the full
But I
size
think
trucks are still
the
body on?
Explorer. Well, first of all, if you put a first gen Explorer next to the current Explorer, you wouldn't be able to see the first gen one because it would be eclipsed by the new one.
By the
Yeah, little
hideousness
tiny. That's
that
a
is.
terrible color. That's an
Yeah,
awful color.
This is the.
You just picked the worst color
that's the
picture you
picture.
can find.
That's the picture.
But yeah.
I'm going
Think
with.
Jurassic Park, Robbie.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park one. No, wait, is
No,
that
that's
the second gen?
That's the second gen.
Is it
It's
a
more
second-
rounded.
Yeah,
It's more
Yeah, because
rounded.
I was talking
you're
about
right,
the
you're
real
right,
square
you're right.
one. It's really simple, utilitarian. People love putting solid axles under the front of them. Or wait, no, it may have a solid axle on the front. I can't remember. It's got a Dana 44 in it or something like that
In the back.
in the back. But anyway, you can do stuff with them. You can modify them.
Yeah.
You can lift them. You can put, like I said, solid axle in the front. It's just a platform that's really simple.
Yeah.
And you can do stuff with it, modify it, change it, have fun with it.
You do some off road
I
and stuff.
assume it was cheap when it was new.
I bet it's
Or
not.
you could get a
expensive
cheap one.
now. Yeah.
No, you get a super cheap one now. But just, I don't know. What you can't buy anything like that.
No.
Not body on frame for sure.
No,
you can't
definitely
buy.
not.
Yeah, you
You can't buy a cheap
small
truck thing.
Yeah, what? They don't even make a Colorado equivalent.
What do you mean? They
Like,
don't
there's
make
not a Blazer version.
Oh, no,
of the
no.
Colorado even.
No.
There's nothing like that in that
No.
market. They've all become these front wheel drive abominations.
Yep. Right. It's all unibody front wheel drive based now
Right.
because it's a car. It's basically
It
just,
is.
Yep.
It's
It's
just
a
a
car.
lifted car.
Yep. To go along with that, anything 2-door, half-ton SUV.
Right. Exactly.
We've talked about that one enough, I think. But I'd like to see that come back,
yeah.
like a 2-door Tahoe or something like that. Or even
There's not. Yeah, there's not many of those.
no,
Too much monies.
no. You see them come up for sale every once in a while for like $10,000, except for that one that Dallas sent us that was $3,000, and that was sold in literally like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was
First
crazy.
person to get here.
I got a list. Should I just keep going?
Yes,
Roll
knock
'em.
'em out.
FDRX7, that's an obvious one. Even if it was expensive, even if it was
It's gonna be.
65,000, like we talked about, I think that's a cool place.
Mazda
for
needs a
to be.
Halo car.
I think that'd be cool. I think
They
it
need
would.
a Halo
it may
car.
work well for them, especially if it was a rotary. People would fanboy out about it. Somebody might buy
has
one.
to
Who
be.
knows? Who knows?
It has to be.
a BMW shooting brake.
Okay.
Z3,
shooting
Z4.
brake in general.
Z3, Z4, you had those.
Those old clown
two-door
shoe ones.
Clown shoe.
Love 'em.
Those are cool. They don't make those anymore.
Good.
I knew Robbie was going to say that.
Do you not like
Such
the
a
clown?
hater.
What about the Z4? Because then that first gen Z4 wasn't there a hatch?
Yeah, and I don't like the Z, or I like the Z3 better.
Okay, because I don't like the Z3 that much, but I do like a two-door rear-wheel drive hatch. I like
Right.
the idea of that.
No, I like that idea. Just not this
The
ugly.
clown shoe is literally,
The
it
cool-
looks bent.
It's the best BMW
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Like 1M
whoa.
clown shoe.
No. 2002.
I don't really like the 2002
Oh
that
my
much.
goodness.
But this comes back to my like extreme dislike for BMW for whatever reason.
I'm not a big fan of the clown shoe, but I can understand that people like them, which is why I put it on my list.
They're goofy, and you know how. I feel
Yeah,
about
we know a
those
lot of people
things.
that have them. Oddly enough,
like a handful of them here in Des Moines. That
we know 3
that are
people that
regular
have them.
autocrossers.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if people, whatever, people are into it. I like the idea of it. Like I said, sticking with BMW, something with a V10. That didn't
Yeah.
last very long.
No, it didn't.
Fucking epic.
Such a
So
good
cool.
noise. Such a great
M6,
noise.
M5. Just a really cool idea where you take
just
a normal
howl.
sedan and shove a supercar motor in it. Because the new one's not really that way anymore.
No.
You get the 2-door version of it too.
Yeah, the M6.
The M6. I liked the 6 better than the 5.
Yeah, I'm a big fan
I like
of
the 5 though
V10
because
M6.
it was kind of understated a little bit. You could tell it was an M car,
It's always been the way they do it with the M5.
but then it would just smoke anything.
yeah,
And there was rumors that it could do 200 miles an hour with no limiter.
they kind of sound
crazy.
like Formula 1 cars
Yeah,
almost.
it's
of
so
the
cool.
Day.
What else for BMW? I thought I had an 850 Ci. V12 specifically.
Yeah, we need more.
Very long
we need more
two-door.
ridiculously large, high displacement, many cylinder motors in our lives.
A long 2-door luxury coupe.
Don't
thing.
make it affordable.
No, I want to pay $200,000 for this. Mercedes still makes one. The S550 or the S55 AMG coupe thing.
Whatever it
you
is.
can pay like what?
How many?
Name a
how
dollar
many
amount.
months?
Sure,
Yeah.
we'll sell you one for that much.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to option it up
130,
to that.
200,000.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, pretty easily.
Yeah, don't make it affordable. Make it ridiculous.
Oddly enough, I saw it was probably an 840 to be honest, but I saw one today. I was like, that's bizarre.
Weird.
When's the last time you saw one of those? An
think
800 series
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
BMW.
there are not very many of them. They're like, there was one in Ames that I saw semi-regular, red one, but you don't see them very often.
No, it's because I bet nobody can afford to.
Keep
You can
them
afford to buy
running.
them. You can't afford to keep them running,
Right.
which was Top Gear made. Well, no, Hammond's didn't go wrong. Right before Top Gear became
Right.
other gear, whatever you want to call it. He bought that 850, and Jeremy bought the equivalent S Mercedes.
Oh, the Mercedes.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the BMW was fine, but the other one had a coil pack failure or something. It was $700 or something crazy. but I mean, that's realistically that's what you're going to deal with if you.
Yeah, no,
own
that's
one of those.
that's the life. But you have to just embrace it.
Anything straight six from Nissan.
Yes.
I figured you were going to say
All of-
240.
All of that.
I thought you were going to say 240, so I just said, give me something with a straight six.
What do you think I'm done? I don't
Well, I just assumed I was leaving 240 for you to say, but since
okay.
it's out there now.
know. Well, we'll talk about the straight six
What is
first.
Nissan known for with straight sixes?
RBs.
Oh, the RBs. Wow, I forgot entirely about that entire
What's
line of
or
motors.
the
My
Z,
bad,
the Z
everybody.
cars,
We've
all
had-
the Z cars.
We've had 2 terrible fuck ups in a row.
I just think
This
whenever
week,
I think
Adam didn't know what the RB was, and then last week he didn't know what the
After I said it, too, I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." I was, in my head, I was like, "You're just the dumbest motherfucker that's ever lived."
what's that called?
What's that movie?
Totally
with the bullet
deserved.
mustang
That's what
in it.
finally somebody called me out on the page. I was like, "Yeah, I'm a moron. That's fair. I get it, dumbass." Oh god,
No, I was just like, when I think Nissan, I automatically go to the VQ because I just love that motor.
VQs are pretty sick, but I mean, the lineage of like the Z cars or the S chassis. All that stuff's kind of dead.
Yeah.
And that Nissan said recently, like they're not gonna
No
they're
interest.
not gonna do anything with the 370. They're just gonna sell it till they people stopped buying it, I guess.
Yep.
They have no interest in making another one.
Yeah, that was mine on my list. Just an S chassis or a Z chassis that Nissan actually gives a shit about. So you had the 240Z from way back in the day, which was an awesome car, which led to the 240SXs, which
And the 300s.
the 300ZX, the 350Z. I mean, those are awesome cars, and now they just don't even care.
Nope, they don't want anything to do with it.
Something like that to come back would be incredible.
Buick GNX.
Yeah.
They teased it. They
Yeah,
didn't
they
make
teased it. He was ready to buy it.
I was ready to buy it. I was already talking to Wells Fargo. It's like, hey, bro, here's what I think it's going to cost. Can we get that? Just send me the paperwork over for that. That'd be great.
Let's just get it, pre-approved.
Get it pre-approved. Just let me know so I can run in there with a check real quick when it comes out. No, pulled the plug on that deal. Swept the rug.
And you got to see it even, didn't you?
It was so sweet. Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
It was so
at
sweet.
the Chicago Auto Show.
It was so sweet. And everybody's like, finally, Buick's
This
coming
is it.
around.
This
is
is it.
Buick's going to be sweet. And they're like, great, let's
Just
all
get it,
buy
guys.
No, we're not going to make that.
JK, everybody.
This makes too much sense.
Too many people want this.
People did want it.
And I think that
They really did.
I think that those were people who would have actually bought it. Not like the Jalopnik crowd who wants brown diesel manual station
Yeah.
wagons, but people who actually would have bought it.
Yeah, that car would have sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was 1987, so it's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's the right age demographic. Those people are like 50 now. When they were kids and that came out, they got money now.
Just reminded me that Josh Fettis bought a Regal GS.
Yeah, he did. Do you
Super
like it?
jealous of it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, he seems to really like it. Got the 6-speed. Sweet little car.
He was bitching about having to buy tires for it, though.
Yeah.
What's
It's
got on a 20s?
20s.
Yeah, but it had a
20s on
stupid
it.
aspect ratio like 35 or
Yeah,
something.
it's not good. It's not good at all.
20s are dumb.
21s are dumb.
21s are stupid dumb. What do you got that's got 21s on
The
them?
Edge, the 265, 55,
21?
21.
265.
The widest tire in all of our fleet
Is on the
on the
edge.
stupid Edge.
Sport, baby. That's what you get when you buy sport.
Is it the
packages.
sport package?
There's nothing sport about
You know
it.
what's really funny about
265s, right?
You know what's really funny about the Edge, the sport package? So they did the sport one. Is that the V6?
Yes.
It's slower than the
Wait.
normal one. By like to 60 by like a tenth of a second.
I just did the oil change. I should know this. Yeah, it's got the V6. Sorry.
Yeah. It's slower than the not sport one.
If I was going to buy something
got big wheels.
like that from Ford, I would have bought a Flex with the EcoBoost in
Dude,
it.
Flexes are dope. Flexes are sick, man.
And you could get them with the same motor that's
know.
in the F-150, isn't it? Or the show, maybe? It's an EcoBoost for
Yeah,
sure.
You can tell people you got a Ford GT motor. It's Ford GT swapped, bro. All-wheel
yeah, just
drive.
like me telling people I have a Ford GT steering rack.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing.
The Flexes are
It's all
so
pedigree.
Robbie's looking at
The
you
Flexes
funny.
are so bad.
Dude, the Flex is sick on the inside.
Terrible.
You like the XB, dude. How can you judge
I did
people?
not say I like the XB. I
It's
just said it was
not-
practical.
It's not it's not a good-looking vehicle.
No.
The Flex
Dude.
is probably a better-looking vehicle.
then what?
It's got
Or,
3
sorry,
rows.
Edge.
The Edge is probably a better-looking vehicle than the
Yes.
Flex. But you get the Flex with that EcoBoost, and they're actually pretty fucking fast.
And they got 3-row seating, and they've got like
Why don't we just buy a
6
minivan?
They've got 5 different
That's
sunroof
kind of my argument. Yeah.
sunroof panels.
Yeah, that's what I want. 5 different places for my roof to leak.
Well,
sounds so
it's
expensive.
why you get a new one. It doesn't leak when it's new. It's got a warranty.
No, then they rattle.
They don't rattle.
You can't drive those on gravel because
Oh,
all the
Jesus.
glass moves.
Oh, Jesus.
It's never perfectly
It'd
sealed.
be impossible to keep clean.
There actually
Oh,
has
God.
been a problem, and it was a problem with the Velocers too, where people's sunroofs are exploding now.
Yeah, I saw
They're
that.
too big, and
Yep.
they change shape with heat, and
they
they
get
explode.
hot.
I remember
Yeah.
the Scion TC was that way. Like basically,
Was it?
The whole roof was glass.
Did they explode?
I don't remember them exploding, but I remember thinking, man, this would be a fucking nightmare to replace.
Yeah, it's
You roll over and it's just a big piece of glass.
I wonder how much of that affects chassis rigidity.
I'm sure it's super,
Not to mention
it's
that
that's
super
got
rigid.
that's got to have something to do with it too.
Yeah.
There's also a whole bunch of weight where you really, really don't want it.
Uh-huh.
Glass
But
way up high.
that's where everyone's
That'll
going,
end well.
though.
I know.
Glass roof,
Like,
iPad.
all the new Fords have that. Like even the Edge is that way.
Well, it's because of the Everybody's copying Tesla. Tesla does something, everybody does it. Everybody sucks.
They've been doing that
Something
panoramic sunroof thing for quite a while.
Yeah, but
though.
now it's the Tesla thing.
It's the thing.
It's the thing. They popularized it. Now we all got to have it. Otherwise,
I
we
don't
can't
need
sell
it.
cars.
I don't even need a sunroof. Just tech.
You know what? I got the Veloster without it, and I was kind of like, nah, whatever. And then I got it with the Trailblazer, and I'm still just kind of, nah.
Yeah, Katie
today
has
I
one in the
closed it 'cause
Focus,
it's
and I never
cold as-
use it.
I closed it today because I was like, Colt's fucking
Mine's
here.
always closed. The only time I open it is when I click the button for my garage door, and then I slide it back. Like, did it go all the way up? All right, it's about, and then back out.
That's where you blow out your vape. That's what it's for.
Oh,
It's
Let's be
your
real
choo-choo
here.
stack
I
for
don't
your
have
vape
that.
pen.
I don't really-
Oh, I got it. This is we're off the rails anyway, so it doesn't matter.
to heck with it.
So
Who cares?
I pulled into the gym, right? Kind of sitting there getting ready or whatever. There's
this is gonna be a good story.
Dude
I'm
pulls up.
excited.
Dude pulls up next to me. He's got a Civic SI,
Of course he does.
and I think it's on cut springs and
Of
stock
course.
wheels.
Like an older one, or
It'd be like one generation ago, maybe.
okay.
Anyway, like a 2000. It's probably like a 2007, 2008. Let's put it
Okay.
that way. His license plate says LOLWUT. So LOL
I think
what?
I've seen this guy before.
And he's in there, so I'm like I'd seen the car before, so I knew what the car was. I'm just kind of sitting there because he's sitting there next to me. All of a sudden, I see his vape box pin light up.
It's got mad mods, bro.
It lights up, and when it lights up, like when he's sucking on it, it changes colors. The LEDs change, so it's like
I've seen
yellow,
that,
purple,
yeah.
blue. So meanwhile, he's
lit,
next to
bro.
me in his Civic Si with cut springs that says "Lil what" on the front, sucking on this robot penis, blowing clouds, and I'm like, "Welcome to 2017, bitches." Shit's wild. Got more technology and more information than has ever been available in all of humanity, and this dude's sitting in his shitty Civic, sucking on a robot penis, blowing clouds.
Probably listening to JRE while he's doing it.
I just couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, you are internet gold. I don't know what to tell you.
Should have put him on Instagram.
I
for
couldn't.
Sure.
I couldn't figure out which dude he was in the gym. There was enough people coming in and out that I couldn't quite. Because
He didn't stick out like a sore thumb.
no, there's a couple other guys there that
Could have been any of
could
them.
have been any one of those.
He's the one that
guys.
smells really fruity because of that vape pen.
I think there's
Yeah,
multiple
I would say
people.
it's fruit punch flavored. It's not smoke flavored.
There were some guys I was working with that were like losing their minds over one that tastes like sour gummy worms. Apparently, it tastes just like, they're like, you got to fucking try this. And they're like passing this thing around. I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you.
No,
I
not a-
appreciate
not a
the
lifestyle.
offer.
I need
But
to
this is not
participate in.
something I feel you should be sharing with coworkers.
no.
I just don't need to participate. Thanks.
Am I the only one that if I'm smoking something, I want it to taste like smoke?
I want it to
Yeah,
taste like
apparently.
good tobacco.
Yeah, like a good cigar or a Marlboro Red cigarette.
When Robbie has his once a year cigarette,
I have my
he wants it to
yearly-
taste like a cigarette.
When I have my yearly cigarette, it better fucking taste like a cigarette.
Because if it tastes good, it's going to become more than once a year. He doesn't need that.
No, I can't stand the taste of vape.
Oh,
I hate it. It's like electrical fire. I can't do it.
Really? I've never had it.
Maybe they're different now, but I couldn't. I hated it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it tasted like an electrical fire.
That's not ideal.
No, it's going to be in your pocket if you're not careful. That's the problem with them.
Yeah.
I've had guys I work with multiple times. They'll put them in their pocket, and then we'll be like crouched over in an attic, and they'll have the button pushed in their pocket, and all of a sudden they'll jump up because their leg gets real hot
Yeah.
because that thing's just smoldering away in their pocket. Like, what do you expect, dude?
What are you doing with your life, man?
Of course, these are always like 45-year-old guys.
Of course they are.
Yeah, those guys are trying to quit smoking though.
Nah, these are the guys that wear
Not
tap out
all of them.
t-shirts.
No, not that either. They're just. I think that they associate it with being young.
Oh.
It's the cool thing to do. So I got to get a vape. And, I got to get on this. Yeah.
Nah, forget that.
Nah. You got
Car
some more,
things.
You got some more stuff on your list over there, Robbie?
No,
That was it?
That was it.
There was a Nissan
it was
and what
literally
was
just
the other thing?
bring back the 240. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I got one other thing
Okay.
that's that hasn't been covered already, I should say.
Okay.
This isn't a car specifically as a way of buying them. I bring back a la carte things.
Oh, God,
Like I want to be able to spec out vehicles like they used to do to end up with, the original Copos, Camaros and stuff like that. I just want to go in and there's a big long list with check boxes next to it, and I want to be able to select one thing that I want. I don't want to have packages. I want to buy just that one thing. I want to buy a stripper model Corvette with a ZL1 motor in it and Steelies, you know? That's all I want in my life.
It's fair.
I just want to buy a shell so I can put whatever.
You just want to buy a 240.
Body
Shell.
in white.
Just
Nissan bring back the 240 show?
I need to buy a BRZ that's gutted, and we'll start.
Just ship me.
Just ship me the shell. Doesn't even have to be painted. Don't care.
You could get like stripper model, like specifically purchased because they were going to turn into race cars in Japan.
I need to move.
JDM, Robbie.
Somebody was selling one on a Facebook group I'm on for like $4,500 with a rod knock.
Yeah, it was cheap. I saw that one.
Orange.
I like that color. One day,
You could just
They're gonna get cheap here
LSs
pretty
just
soon.
go right in them.
I know
They're
they
gonna
fall
get
in place.
they're gonna get cheap here pretty soon, Robbie. It's gonna be the new one.
By the time I'm ready to buy,
Yep, they'll
those
be cheap.
will be the new S chassis, and they'll
Yeah.
be available, and I'll get in right before the drift tax. It's gonna
You get that. I'm gonna get the Genesis because Sicky's
Yeah.
got a kit for it now, and I'm
That's where it's
I'm
at.
in. I'm in.
Sicky's got an LS kit for it?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, God.
If you can put an LS in
God.
it, Sicky's got
Sicky
a
will
kit
make
for
a
it.
kit for it.
Do they make one for the BRZ?
Oh yeah,
They call it a BRZ06. That's what
that's
people
not
do.
original. People have done that.
No, lots of people do that. It's a thing.
They released new handbrakes today,
Yeah.
and they're called the Drift Stick.
It's
We're not being paid by Sicky, by the way. In all seriousness, but it's called the Drift Stick, and
it's kind of like
it's like not cheap, but I kind of want one because they're sweet.
they're
dude.
awesome.
They're
high
awesome.
quality.
They're really freaking
Well,
nice.
isn't that what Ford called their drift stick on their?
Oh, I don't know.
The new Ford Focus,
The Focus.
like the electronic one.
Yeah,
Yep.
they call it a drift stick. So I'm
Okay,
sure
well,
it kinda
this
Did
is,
you see that?
This is way cool. That's dumb. This is cool.
It was actually kind of a cool little deal.
I think it's dumb.
Did you read up on it at all?
No, because I don't
I
think.
read up on
I
it,
think
but-
it's you're just asking for problems on a consumer car.
You're putting a street car with a drift stick. Yeah, that's gonna work.
Yeah,
out
it
for
seems like a
everybody.
great
Got a
idea.
drift button already. I mean, what do you
Yeah, but I
want?
think people are going to be going around a corner and be like, "Watch this!" and pull it and slide it into a curb.
Who would do that?
Not Robbie. He's never done that.
Robbie's
Never.
responsible.
I would never do that.
The thing is, though, he's lived that life. He knows.
I know how stupid it is. Don't do it. Sliding your car into a curb is not fun. Then you have to drive it home real slow because everything's dragging. 'Cause your tail between your legs. Don't
Hope
do
your
it.
mom and dad don't see it.
Oh, they saw it.
Anyway, is that it for this topic?
Yep.
You should go to the group, not the page. Go to the group. 1010s podcast. Share.
Well, go to the
something.
page too. But then
They're probably
go to
on the
group.
page. More people have joined the group recently, which
We're
is
over
great.
150, which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
It's a lot of people
It is.
that want to talk about the show.
And there's still a lot of people who
This
haven't
is the-
introduced themselves.
You should introduce yourself. This is the discussion board, I guess we could call it. Some other shows call it their discussion board. You jump on there, talk to people, share what you feel is the car or whatever option package, something you want to see brought back. You can share it there.
Or do what everybody else does and call us out for all the mistakes we make on the show.
Or find really cheap turbo Dodges and
Oh,
then
definitely
tell me
do
to
Yeah,
that.
buy it.
actually, if
Definitely
you
do
find
that.
anything Turbo Dodge or even something that's not Turbo Dodge, what are those? Aren't
turbo
K cars.
but not turbo.
If you find a Turbo not Turbo Dodge or a Turbo Dodge that is Turbo, share it on the group.
It has to be cheap.
Preferably less than $1,500.
Yes.
And then I won't buy it either. So
But make sure you share them from like all over the country, so he for sure can't buy it because it's in Seattle.
yeah. Well,
Though a lot of the
except
ones that have been shared lately have been local.
yeah, the one is like right down the street from my dad.
Yeah, and then the other one was in Newton, which is where Chaz lives.
Yeah, but that was Robbie that found it. And then there was one at the junkyard I went to this weekend.
It's just calling you. Lee
They really
Iacocca.
are.
Lee Iacocca. Was it Lee Iacocca? Yes, it was. Lee
Yeah.
Iacocca is channeling you. Is he dead?
Oh, probably.
I don't think so.
Can you look up and see if he's dead?
If I remember correctly, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, yes. Hold on.
He did some other cars as well, but
was
He did a lot of
Ford
things.
GT.
yes, actually. Man, how he spiraled.
He's
To
93. He's
greatness.
93.
He's alive at 93.
93.
Look at that. Maybe
What if he wants to be
he's
on a
getting ready to
podcast?
pass the torch to Adam.
Yeah.
The K-Car torch.
I'll send him an email.
Shoot him an email and
See if he wants to be on a podcast.
see if he wants to be on a he probably has no idea what a podcast is.
I'll ask him if he wants to be on a radio show. How about that?
That works.
Right.
People,
A radio
people
show, I swear.
understand that.
Tell
That's
him
what I
it's-
have to tell people all the time. What's that? It's
Tell-
like a radio show on the internet.
Tell him
Oh,
it's
okay.
like Sirius XM so he can swear. Who knows? Maybe Lee Iacocca is, out of his mind.
Mad vulgar.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Let's give him a
He's
platform.
from the Mad Men era, Shit got a little wild back then.
I bet he's got some stories.
I bet he's got great stories.
You guys want to talk about the news?
Let's do the news presented by Petrolbox. Before we jump into the news, make sure to go to mypetrolbox.com. Check out all the rad shit that comes in their package every single month. We've talked about it before. It is a monthly subscription service. They send you items that are automotive related. We've gotten stuff like coasters. We've gotten shirts every month. I don't know if they do shirts every month or not. They probably do some sort of apparel.
I would assume you get gloves sometimes instead in place of a shirt.
They ask you about your glove size, but they send cool tools like the magnetizer, demagnetizer.
Used it at work today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What'd you use it for?
To magnetize a screwdriver.
Screwdriver?
I love it.
Did it demagnetize?
Because I have this one that's like 6 inches long. And it's really nice to get.
You have a really warped perception of how long 6 inches is.
It's like
There's some Freudian shit that just happened. His hands were like a foot apart. It's 6 inches long.
Seriously, it's huge.
Whoa.
It's the opposite of the fisherman effect, I guess. I don't know.
Anyway, so what are you doing with your 6 inch?
It's like a Phillips bit, but screw never stays on the end of it because even if you put it in the magnetized bit holder that I have, that magnet's not strong enough.
Yeah.
Ran it through the magnetizer, works like a charm.
Did it demagnetize?
I never tried.
Oh, now it's just
I
magnetized.
couldn't care less. As far as I'm concerned, all screwdriver related tools should be magnetized.
Nope, I can't disagree with that statement anymore. Because I'll get one out of the drawer that's been next to a magnet, and then something will get stuck on it. Like, shit, fuck.
Mine's always like shavings, like metal shavings. Are
Yeah,
stuck
that
to
too.
It. That's
Yep.
that's the worst.
That's a great reason to have a demagnetizer right there.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was that last month?
That was last month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
last month was the
Yep.
demag.
And then we got that sweet bolt.
The
It's
bolt.
like it had thread pitch on
Yeah,
it, it had
thread
thread
pitch
size,
guide.
all that stuff.
I've been a big fan of the like the cleaning products that have come.
Great cleaning products,
All been
really
great.
high quality stuff.
Yeah.
It's typically $39.95, I think, every single month. $7 off your first box if you use 10/10 with an S on the end. You apply that discount at checkout. You get $7 off that first box, and then you get rad stuff every month. It's exciting like Christmas every single month.
I can't think of a better Christmas gift.
And actually, I think you can, if you're thinking about buying it for somebody, you can buy a package.
There's a give as a gift option.
Oh, there is.
on
Okay,
the
even
checkout.
better. There you go.
It's
Give
like
as
a
a gift.
checkbox. Click, give as a gift, and then you can fill out.
That's a sick gift, man. I mean,
That's
in all
awesome.
seriousness,
And
that
there's like month by month, and then like 3 month and 6 month and 12
Yeah.
month, I think, packages. So
It
you can
makes it even
choose.
cheaper.
Yeah. So you can choose how far out you want to do it and everything. It's really cool.
Yeah.
If you got a car guy in your life and you don't really want to think about what to get him for Christmas, just buy this.
If you're one of the-
someone else will do the
if you're
thing.
one of the 2 females that listens to this podcast and you have
Because
a
your
two
boyfriend
females?
is forcing you to.
pretty sure there's one,
Nice.
which is great for our demographics.
Yeah, whatever.
I really want to say something.
No,
but I'm
don't
not
do it.
going-
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
I know
it.
what he's talking about, but I'm just going to leave
No.
it. Just going to
This is
leave
a
it
very
alone.
all I'm saying is this is a very high testosterone show.
That's true.
It's like the Man Show. Do you guys remember the Man
Yeah,
Show?
I remember
Ah.
that show.
It's
Adam
not as bad as the
Carolla.
Man Show, actually.
No.
You know who was on the Man Show?
Adam Carolla.
Joe fucking Rogan. That's who was on the Man Show.
That guy who could chug a beer. Do you remember that guy? The old guy they had?
No.
They could just like take a big mug and just gone. Just toss it back.
I didn't watch that much of it. It was on Comedy Central,
That's
wasn't it?
the only
No, it was
thing
on-
that sticks out in my mind.
was
All
on
this stuff.
Spike TV.
Yeah,
It was on Spike?
TNN or whatever. It used to be TNN.
All
Is it really? Was that Spike before?
Was it TNN?
TNN turned to Spike.
It
yeah,
did?
yeah, I think he's right.
Really?
I
remember.
think so.
Okay.
It's like way back in the day.
I was just blown away by this guy's ability to chug.
Weird.
Every
Because it'd
college
be like
had that guy.
chug-a-lugga, chug.
Yep.
I do remember the Chug-a-Lugga thing now.
Yeah, and there's like this old dude. He had to
Yeah.
have been in his 60s, and he could just gone.
Destroy a beer.
Chug beer.
It was crazy.
It was a weird show, to be completely honest.
I can't believe it made it.
It's
you know?
called the Man. I mean, it
like
was
that's
the
a
Man
thing
Show.
that would exist now, but
Dude, you couldn't do that show
like
now.
no, but like as a streamed thing.
Yeah, you'd have to do it like late night.
you
But
have to
no,
do it on
would-
YouTube.
It would be an internet thing.
but then you'd still get like
No, it'd be
misogynist comments.
You'd have to like go to a website and get past a paywall, and then you'd be able to watch it. But that's where it would be.
You couldn't have that now
No.
on TV. There's no
I
way.
challenge you. We could do it.
If somebody wants to let us recreate the Man Show, give us a call or send us an email. We will figure it out. We will
Somebody-
take the hate.
It's worth it.
It's worth the hate.
One of Robbie's YouTube followers wants me to do my old car things show.
Oh, was that a YouTube comment?
Yeah. So
Is he paying?
Guess we'll have to.
to you, I am trying to find a few more places, and get some concepts going. But I don't want to just do 2. So
Yeah, it would take. You almost need like episodes. You need
that's
to make
what-
an episode.
I want to have like
8
6 or
episodes.
8 in a
Yeah.
row that we can do and then release like
Mighty
you know,
Car Mods it.
Yeah, once a month or once a week or every other week or something like that. Just get a few of them banked up.
That'd be cool.
Word. Anyway, go to mypetrolbox.com. Also follow them on social media. Petrolbox or at mypetrolbox on Instagram.
Yep.
Sick and also rad. What's on the list, Robbie?
A robot motorcycle fails to beat Valentino Rossi.
Can you think of something stupider than a robot on a motorcycle?
No.
Quickly.
Package delivery, man. That's the only thing I can come up with is
Package-
that
No,
it's
because
like
then you
used for-
have to be home to get the package.
Well, I assume that this
How's
that
the
point-
robot carry the package on the
Doesn't.
motorcycle?
You
you
just
put
go
it in a
with that.
basket.
So he just does
Backpack.
one. This is the ultra. This is today delivery. This is the $499 delivery
I
option.
didn't say it was a good idea. I just said it was a possible
An
option.
idea. So basically, Yamaha has spent 3 years of a handful of engineers' time
Untold millions for sure.
to make a robot that's capable of driving a stock R1
30 seconds a lap slower.
30 seconds a lap slower than Valentino Rossi.
I mean, it's not even close.
No. But it'll never beat a human because it has to shift weight and be able to lean, and it's not capable.
It's way, way more involved than autonomous driving of a car.
Yeah, it obviously drives super rigid. I think it has training wheels still.
Does it really?
It did. I don't know if it still does.
It's pretty stupid.
It's so dumb.
The
It's such a waste of time.
There's 2 arguments as to what good things could come out of this. One is that Yamaha could use this to test the true capabilities of what their motorcycles can do, which isn't really relevant to shit because you always have to have human error. That's a motorcycle. You have to have human error. So testing it as if there's no human error doesn't tell you anything. So to me, that was super weird. The one thing I can actually see coming out of this is the technology that they have to use to create quick reaction times for this thing could benefit autonomous driving. I don't know how.
Or robots in general.
Yes. But yeah.
Military things and stuff like that. I think it has more applications in military-based things than it does in consumer.
Yeah, putting a robot on a motorcycle doesn't accomplish anything.
I agree. The one thing that this made me think of is there a potential in the future that we could see someone attempt to build a robot that is a racing driver in a car?
Yeah. It'd be the same
Oh,
concept.
absolutely.
But think about how weird that gets.
Why would you? So you have like a robot that walks around and then gets in a.
Or you just leave them in the car. So now you don't have to worry about the human element of the driver, you know.
Well, then you just have an
Having to
autonomous
pee,
car. I
eating.
wouldn't even waste time building the
No,
robot.
because then the car is exactly set up to the human. It's like
Oh,
if I wanted to if I wanted to get my car perfectly dialed in so that the only error is my stupidity, you put the robot in the car with my setup, and then they get that dialed in.
Well, I was also thinking if there's a race series that has rules pertaining to steering wheel, you know, pedals, all that stuff, you can't alter that.
Right.
Like think about if somebody built a robot for Le Mans. I mean, that's an endurance race. There's a huge human error element to whether or not you finish. If you put a robot in that can just be consistent, even if they're not fast, could you win?
I don't know. Yeah.
And then where-
I could see why it'd be relevant to testing.
I think you
not
could
racing.
No, I think you could put. I think over a 24-hour period, you don't have to worry about. You don't have to have 4 or 6 drivers or whatever. You just put the robot in there.
Where's
Yeah.
the fun in that?
Hey, well, that's my point,
he's
though.
not saying it's fun. He's saying it
I'm
could
saying
be
it
done.
could happen.
That's
Toyota could do it for sure. They spend tons of time
yeah.
building robots.
Honda's got that Osimo or whatever, that robot that can walk upstairs and stuff like that they've been developing for
I've seen that. It's
years.
How far are we away? Like 5 years, 10 years from somebody trying to do this?
not even 5 years.
We've had that robo race that's been conceptualized as like a like a feeder race for Formula E weekends.
Yeah.
No, I can see it being relevant in like testing though. I mean, because like taking I'll just use for example the Ford GT, and then they throw the engine on a dyno and simulate a race for 24 hours. Not the same as actually driving. So if you put a robot in a car and be like, all right, well, see you tomorrow, and you let it just run for 24 hours, and then if your car makes it, you know that design works.
You
So
know,
from a testing standpoint, it makes some sense.
where I think it might be useful in a racing scenario is that the sanctioning body has a spec robot that they put in the car for balance of performance. Because remember, like
That's interesting.
quite a while back, the Lamborghini team got dinged for sandbagging,
Yeah.
I remember that.
and that's a constant struggle between the sanctioning body and the racing teams. Well, now I have a spec robot. Same robot gets in every car, and
Even
he
if
drives flat out as fast as he can drive it. Whether it's 100% or not, it's flat out as fast as he can drive it, and we can base our balance of performance off of what his results are.
Can you imagine the nightmare of the one time it crashes?
How pissed that team would
That
be.
one team
Yeah.
has
Well, I feel like at that point, the sanctioning body has to assume the risk of the damage.
they would. But it's just kind of funny. Can you imagine the backlash?
Yeah.
But
It'd be
actually-
like
that's a
it'd
nice
be like
thought,
the
actually.
brokest team too.
Oh, of
It'd
course.
be like the one team that doesn't have a full
This is
spare.
the car. This is the only
This is
car
it.
we have.
Yeah, we have like 2/3 of another car in the trailer, but this is
It's
the
gonna take us
car
3
for
days
it.
to put it together.
So that's we're out.
We're screwed now. Thanks.
That'll be
Appreciate
how that goes because Murphy's an asshole.
I do think that's a good idea, Adam.
I feel like it's wildly expensive,
It's way out there, but it could work.
and frankly, I'd just rather than just drop this balance of performance bullshit. Let's just go racing. But it's an application, I
I
guess.
suppose, yeah. All right,
Cool.
moving on.
Let's do the next thing.
Koenigsegg destroys a production world speed record on a road, not a track.
Was it in Nevada?
Nevada.
If
It was
only.
in Nevada. It was
If
where Adam
only.
lives. It was
If
right
only.
outside his house, I think.
I can assure you that our roads are not smooth enough to be doing those kind of speeds.
Our roads,
no,
you
no.
barely do 55.
I
on
don't
them.
like doing 28 on my roads, let alone 280.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy you could close a highway and do 280 miles an hour.
It was a
on
10-mile stretch, wasn't it?
Yeah, to 11 miles. Yep.
Yep. So both
Route 160.
both direction average was 277, right? And
Yeah.
so that's the world record as it stands
right.
today.
And somebody reported they saw 291 at one point.
Yeah, but that doesn't
you have
count
to do it
'cause-
both ways,
Yep.
and it has to be during the official recording.
Right. So in one direction, they did 284 during the recorded run. I'm guessing there must have been a tailwind in that direction.
Yeah, that would make perfect sense.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
He does not lay into it until
Nope.
he's doing 180 miles an hour before he puts his foot to the floor.
And then it just shoots up.
It's just
really
gone.
crazy. It's crazy. He just kind of ramps into it, ramps into it, ramps in it. He's in fifth gear, floors it, and all of a sudden the speedometer just jumps. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like watching a
he's into
crotch
the
rocket.
200s. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how
That
hard
type
that
of
pulls.
acceleration is, I can't even fathom. I couldn't imagine what that
No,
would feel
nobody
like.
can.
It
Nobody
was
can
funny
understand
because
that.
you listen to it, and he's clearly giving it partial throttle. He's
Yeah.
not trying at all, and he's doing 150 miles an hour. And that car, he's doing
cruising.
He's managing throttle, trying not to wheel spin is all he's doing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I'm doing 150 miles an hour, and I can't flat foot this thing because it will wheel spin.
That's a scary thought.
Pretty amazing car.
What a nutty, nutty world we live in.
Bill
That is a
said-
production car. You can buy that car.
This was somebody's car.
All of the Koenigsegg's that you see doing testing and stuff like that, like the one that they had at the Nürburgring, the 1-to-1 they had at the Nürburgring, that was a customer car that they loaned back to Koenigsegg because he does not have the resources to have his own fleet of test vehicles to go out and do these records.
That's crazy.
He just has really, really good customers.
If they called me up and said, "Hey, can we take your car out and see if we can do a top speed record in it, and it's going to be all over the place," I'd be like, "Yeah, when
Yes,
you coming to pick it up?"
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll bring it to you.
Absolutely.
Where are we going?
We're going to bring you some new tires when we're done, and we promise not to crash it into anything. Yeah,
And
If
sounds
we
good.
do, we'll
get
fix
you-
it.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
you another one.
Yeah, it's us, so we'll fix it.
Yeah, so-
okay, cool.
Tell you what, you tell me where it needs to be, and I'll bring it to you because I want to be there.
Yeah, that's probably the thing. Like, yeah, you can come hang out and do whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
great, sounds good. I'll be there.
God, that's so cool.
Pretty neat.
It's so
Are
crazy.
you watching it right now?
No,
Ryan?
I'm not watching
Oh,
it.
So fast. It's next.
this was the Agera. By the way, Agera RS,
RS.
1160 horsepower.
Is a lower downforce, slightly heavier version of the 1-to-1. Lower downforce for less drag.
Top speed.
This isn't the craziest car we make, just FYI.
Wow.
Anyway, what's next?
Texas is revoking titles for dune buggies and other rebodied kit cars.
And just kind of out of nowhere.
Well,
Not really out of nowhere.
They started doing it in 2013. It sounds like.
Yeah, they said anything new in 2013. They were saying no more.
Yep.
We've been registering this, issuing licenses for these cars up to 2013. Now we're going to stop. You can't register anything new.
Yeah. So people that had the older ones could be grandfathered in.
Yep.
But
We'll-
now
we'll
they're
renew
I
those.
think they're taking them away.
Right.
now
They're all
pulling
done.
those even.
Yes.
So I'm a little surprised that this hasn't happened before, but never would have saw this coming in Texas. I think the fact that it's in Texas is the most interesting part of that story. If this happened in California, I'd have been like, well, duh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
My biggest hang up with it is not that they took away the registrations, is that they took it away without a solution. They're like, all right, we're taking them all away for these reasons, which like we could say, oh, they don't meet our safety requirements of the road, or they don't meet the, you need a specific tail light, your headlights, whatever. But then have a list of ways to make it legal and then allow them to register. Like have a plan to make these cars on the road.
a 100% restored to factory original 1968 Chevy Camaro would not meet most of the safety specifications that are required to be on our roads today. Yet they're still allowed on the roads.
Right. Well, that's my point. If you build a kit car and you get it you get it inspected by the DOT, get it registered. You jump through all the hoops. You made it perfectly legal. The safety aspect's on your own. That's up to you. If you want to drive a car that's going to kill you, you built it. You can die in it. That's fine. But if you make a car that's perfectly legal to drive, then yeah, let's make it possible. So I don't know why this isn't the same as anywhere else with a kit car. Just lay it out. This is what it takes to be legal.
I think that this is the start of the end
For the fun cars on the road?
for kit cars.
Or just being able to drive your own car in general.
Yeah, let's hope not.
This is the beginning of the end. We're taking out the dangerous, quote unquote, ones. But the club or whatever, that's the Dune Buggy Club. They made
Meyer
a good.
Manx's.
Yeah, they made a good point. Is like we're not creating a crash statistic. So what's the problem?
Right.
Like we're not out there. Dune buggies kill 8,000 Texans every single month. You know what I mean? So what's the problem? You can claim they're unsafe. You can claim
Right.
which that may be fair, but at the same time, there's a reason that collector car insurance is so damn cheap. It's because those people are really cognizant of not getting in an accident.
Yeah, you don't want to wreck that.
Right, because you don't want to wreck it. Because, you're not going to, even if you get money back for it, you're still going to spend way more than that trying to get it fixed. You don't want to go through the hassle of getting it fixed. You don't want to, well, on collector car insurance, they pay out. There's no, as long as you follow.
Like a Meyer Manx, that's a matter of if you can fix it. These cars, the specific vehicle that they started pulling the licensing on,
So that fiberglass tub.
you crash that thing,
The original ones.
there's a very
Yeah.
high probability that car will be unrepairable. So they're even more cognizant of it. It's not like it's a Camaro or a Chevelle that you can go and buy.
Get a replacement.
You buy a quarter panel.
You get a whole replacement car
You're just screwed.
from Classic
You're
Industries.
just out.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I think you're chasing
Somebody's got a weird bent.
Yeah, you're chasing after the wrong demographic.
As much as it saddens me, I think that the kit car world has gone under the radar for a really long time, a shockingly long time,
Yeah.
frankly, that we've chased after a lot smaller things for a lot stupider reasons in this country. I'm not happy about it, but I think that it's probably a sign of what's to come in many more states.
I don't know. My biggest hang-up's always going to be, we make cars this safe, but, you still have, like, basically a guy on a horse, like a steel horse on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that day's coming, dude.
yeah, I
I
do
think
too.
it's
There's
going to
no,
come.
no, there's no way.
Yeah, I think it
There's
will, dude.
No, I
no
think you're
way.
so wrong.
I think 20 years from now, I think that day's going to come.
Hell,
Absolutely.
There's no way.
Oh,
There's too many motorcycle
No, I don't
drivers.
think so, man.
Like
I think you're wrong.
I don't get it.
I really
Like,
don't think so.
I have
Especially
a very
since-
healthy fear of motorcycles, so like it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a crotch rocket, but I've never pulled the trigger because I'm too scared of them. But there's too many motorcycle drivers, too many Harley riders. I mean, there's no
Motorcycle
way you'll take
numbers
that
are
away.
dwindling, though. I mean, we've talked
New,
about that.
new sales, yes.
Yeah, well, in 20 years,
I think that day's going to come, dude.
I'm not-
Everybody else has gone autonomous.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. That's a whole.
I think that's
going
going to be one of the wild cards for the autonomous driving thing is what, people riding motorcycles under their own control. I think that's going to be something that's going to be hard to take into consideration. And then, as soon as an autonomous car kills a motorcyclist, that's going to be that people are going to start asking questions like, why do we still let people ride motorcycles? And
well, so if we're gonna if for that reason we're pulling motorcyclists, we better be pulling bicyclists and kids on skateboards.
No, you're triggering people.
and
You're
all that
triggering
stuff.
people. Stop! You're triggering people.
I lumped in more than just bicyclists.
I know,
I'm not trying to be a dick about
I
the
know.
bicyclists.
I know, but they may say that they can't be on the street.
Right.
They may say that. They may create different traffic flows for bicycles.
Yeah, I still think the only way that we can be fully autonomous is if we are truly fully autonomous. Like, it can't be part this, part that. It has to be 100% one way or 100% the other. It's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah, and I have a really hard time seeing that.
And I think, like Alex Roy said, they'll price you out of the market. So you want to buy a motorcycle? Great. The insurance is $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to go, fuck you. I'm going to buy a 300cc motorcycle and I'm going to take it to the track, which is arguably safer, which sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But if you have the right gear on, like, gear that you can slide on for 10 seconds and you're on a safe track, it's arguably safer to race a motorcycle than it is to ride it on the street.
I don't argue with that at all. That makes
I think
It
it's
seems weird.
I think it's
hard.
arguably safer to be on the track, period.
Standing in the middle of the track.
No, car or motorcycle.
Yeah.
Than it is to be driving with some of the morons we share roads with.
Yeah. But I think that's probably what will happen. Everybody will just get priced out. People just say, fuck you. Then I'm still going to buy a motorcycle, but it's just not going to have any turn signals.
Right.
Take it to the track.
yeah.
So they won't go away. They'll just be different.
But I think that kit cars will probably go first. They'll say, these aren't safe. They never went through crash testing. For the same reason you can't bring a Skyline, an R34 over here.
No, that's emissions. It's not safety.
But they were never crashed here either, though.
That's true.
Yeah, they used to do something weird with gray imports. That's something I don't understand at all. But they would change some things,
Yeah.
some crash barriers or something like that, and get them
Right.
through back in the 80s. I don't have a clue, but some of it was emissions, some of it was crashing. So anyway, yeah, I agree. I think the wall's starting to crumble.
We need to fight the power.
Fight the power.
We need to fight the power.
Alex was supposed to start that group. He never did.
SEMA was involved in this, weren't they?
Yeah,
At
they're
some point
they're
they
fighting
were, yeah.
against it.
They hired a lobbyist, the guy that got the Polaris slingshot through. What would you call that? I guess registration.
Yeah.
It's a
Getting it registered.
motorcycle.
Yeah, it's a motorcycle. Strike. Anyways, we'll finish this off with season 2 of the Grand Tour will not have the American.
Oh, thank
God.
God.
They're fixing stuff.
There was like 3 major flaws with that show, and that was one of them.
You know
He was
what I
awful.
want with season 2 of Grand Tour is I just want them going and doing stuff. Take out all of the studio bit. Just do away with it. It didn't work anymore because they had to tiptoe around everything. Just drop it.
Well, the tent's not moving now.
Right.
Tent's stationary.
Good.
Right.
Yeah,
But again, that was some bullshit where they probably said you can't have a studio. We'll sue you.
Yeah, get rid of Celebrity Brain Crash.
I'm sure that's gone.
Yeah, that's
Has
I can
to
almost
be.
guarantee you that's gone.
Should have been gone after the first episode.
Yeah.
I would have given it 3 episodes of funny, and then that's it.
I would have gave it 1.
And they did
It wasn't
like
funny
9.
the first time.
It wasn't funny the first time.
Take away any bit that doesn't have a car in it, like the army thing they did.
Yep.
Yeah, just get rid of that.
I think
and then
they-
get rid of this
There was an
terrible.
Audi in there. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
I
they
don't
learned.
remember it.
I think they learned from that mistake also.
And
I
then-
think they're like, let's try something different. But this sucks.
and
But
then
we
this,
we spent $100,000 on this shoot. Well, I guess we better release it.
and then have this American character, because that's obviously not how he really is. and get rid
What are
of
you
that.
talking about? Rabbi's in NASCAR. They all talk like that,
No, that's not.
especially in the truck race.
That guy's not like that, really.
I don't know. I don't. He's got a show on Sirius XM.
Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner.
Apparently,
His tweet that he posted made it kind of sound like he said, "I don't want to be a part of this anymore," and he left.
no. I read it as
They
he
shut
thought
him
maybe he was going to come back, and they went, meh.
Well, yeah.
And then he
down. He
wasn't
said something
upset
about
about
his
it.
character.
My character
development.
wasn't developed as I was told, and I think that they were probably telling him, okay, we're probably going to dial it back from being the ignorant American driver,
Yeah, that's what it was.
however you want to put it, saying like, oh, it doesn't have a V8, so
Well, the weird thing about that is I think Amazon made them do that.
get rid of him?
No, put him in to begin with.
Oh, really?
Because they're like, you guys are doing all this British shit, and this is an American company, so...
Maybe that's why it was so bad, is that they wanted
and then
to
they wrote it all sideways like
Yep.
that. Maybe.
which would make sense.
And then they're like, fine, take him out.
I just think they should do away with the timed lap track thing.
They may. That track
Just
is
do
really
away
hard
with
to like shoot. The thing about the Top Gear test track is that it's really wide open and all the corners are open, and so you can shoot it, and it makes sense like in your mind when they keep
Right.
shooting it the same way every single week when they did a lap. That track is weird.
Yeah,
There's something
it's-
weird about the layout of it. It doesn't really make sense. You can't see the corners because there's a bunch of right angles or like more than right angle
Buildings
corners.
in the middle
There's
of
buildings and shit in the way. Like you can't see it. It doesn't. Your mind doesn't logically lay it out very well. So it's hard to watch them do a lap. Plus, there are some really tight corners where the car basically just stops, and it's
Right.
weird. The flow of it's weird, and yeah, it just doesn't make sense. If they want to go out there and shoot, like this is the new Audi RS6, and we're gonna take it around the
Yeah,
track. That
you
makes
put
sense.
Jeremy in a car or
Yeah.
any of the three in a car and just have them rip around. But for that matter, it can be any track at that point. You guys have
It
the
could.
budget. You could rent whatever you wanted. You could rent Brands Hatch for a day and let them rip around a couple of cars.
It'd probably make way more sense for them to just rent Brands Hatch,
yeah,
like for
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or pick another track.
yeah.
There's tons of tracks in the UK,
Or-
and there's tracks we haven't even heard of because they had a bunch of Air Force bases and naval bases
Yeah.
that they ended up turning into racetracks. There's airfields all over the place. I mean, you could.
Right.
I don't know how they ended up where they did, but it's just kind of a mess. But
What I would like to see out of this, as much as I think people will get mad when I say this, is I just want to see like basically what the U.S. Top Gear turned into. They did away with the studio bits. They did away with the timed lap drivers. They did away with the celebrity driving thing. It was just the three guys doing car challenges. That's what you watch it for. That's all I want to see. I just want to see them go crazy places and build silly things. That's all I want in life.
I don't think they can do cheap car challenges.
They don't have to do cheap car challenges.
That was
They
a
can-
big part of the old Top Gear, though. I'm
They
just
can
saying.
do. They can drive dune buggies across crazy African countries, and like they did. Like that's the stuff. That's the stuff I want to see. I don't care about the stupid studio stuff. It's not. It's not important to me.
I didn't mind the interviews. They
Can't do that.
Yeah, they can't have any celebrities on.
Nope. That was the whole point of Celebrity Brain Crash, is they would kill them before they got there.
Yeah, I
So
suppose
it
you're
was kind of kosher, and it was a joke at
Yeah,
the BBC's expense. That's the problem, is that you watch that show and it's kind of clunky. It's because
It's a big
some of it
middle
is them.
finger to the BBC.
Some of it is then. I'm sure he's got a weird name. It's not William. Is it
Wilhelm?
yeah, maybe I can't remember exactly. But the producer, Andy's his first name. That guy. He, I'm sure it's him just saying "fuck you" to the BBC over and over again.
Yeah.
With them too, but
I'm surprised that Amazon went along with that because they have a lot of BBC content on Prime.
do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Doctor Who and stuff like
Maybe
that.
they already had it bought out
I don't
for
know.
4 years.
There's
or
a lot of
something.
top.
I
I
don't
mean,
really care.
Top Gear's
Yeah,
on there.
it's true. Top Gear
That's
is
where
on
you
there.
get Top Gear now.
Yep. Yeah, you don't get it on.
Because it's not on Netflix.
Nope, it's not. Except for maybe a couple seasons.
So
But
I was surprised that they were doing that, considering that a lot of their content came from there.
I'll make a bold statement. I thought the first season of revamped Top Gear was better than the Grand Tour.
Of
Even
round
with, even
two
with Shouty
of
Man.
revamp.
No,
You
even
mean
round
even
one.
with Shouty Man?
Yep, even with Shouty Man, I thought it was better.
I think there were a few episodes of the Grand Tour that I really, really, really liked.
Yeah,
But
I think
as a whole, there was some really bad stuff going on there.
I think now if they're over making fun of the BBC and being
Right.
bitter about it, I think it'll be good.
It'll be a lot better.
It'll be so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
season 2 should be
Be really good. And I think if they've fired Sabina Schmidt on this next season of Top Gear, it will be much better.
Oh, I don't think she's on there anymore.
Is
I
it-
think
is
it's
it- is
just
season
Chris
2 out?
Harris. Yeah, I think.
Okay,
it's-
'cause I
hell,
can't get
think
it
it's
anywhere.
over.
I can't get it anywhere.
Yeah, I missed all of it, but I think it's just Chris Harris, Matt LeBlanc, and Roy Reed.
Okay.
It's just 3
That could be
guys.
good.
right.
There was that
And
challenge.
apparently it was great.
I can imagine. I bet it was good. There were times when LeBlanc was like tongue in cheek making fun of how much of a moron Chris is, and I don't know that he understood what was going on.
Oh, absolutely.
But and that the couple challenges that Sabine was in on were just awful.
Yeah.
She was terrible. I don't even know why they hired her to begin with. She was bad when she was on previous episodes of Top Gear.
Just leave her on the
She
Nürburgring.
just tries too hard or something. That she doesn't need a talking part.
Right.
Just set some lap times.
Right.
She could be the new Stig,
I'd be fine with that.
but the Stig's gone too. So that's it.
Yep.
It'll be better. Season 2 of the Grand Tour will be good, and Season 2 of Top Gear we think is good.
I think it's
When
over.
we finally get to
I think
watch
it's
it.
done.
Whenever it comes to
America.
Amazon Prime, I'll get to watch it.
exactly.
Because the first,
Is the first one there?
no, it is on Netflix actually.
Oh, it's on Netflix?
I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
Interesting.
I think that's it for this show. Robbie, we're just encroaching on 2 hours. We're getting close.
All right, well, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up because Robbie's got stuff to do.
I do.
He's
I
very
Single
busy, man.
time.
Super busy weekend.
He's super swamped. See you guys next week.
Bye.